I call to order the Etna Township Trustee regular meeting here on Tuesday, August 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m., 6:02 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Here.
Mr. Burkholder?
Here.
Ms. McKee?
Here.
Please lead us into the invocation.
Sure, absolutely. Please stand with me and if you can, and bow your heads if you can. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Mr. Evans, please lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Discussion?
Yes, once again, several critical items have been ignored, and I would ask for the audience to refrain from their comments while the meeting's going on. The one that I'm really shocked at, I asked for a discussion on the BZA, concerns of the BZA chair, and letting her speak during this meeting, but apparently she's being forced to do so under public comments. That is just unprofessional and unacceptable. So that should be a separate section added because we need to discuss procedure and authorization for seeking advice, the lack of staff follow through, and also the lack of Mr. Burkholder in response to the board chair, and also the checklist pushback that the board voted on and is receiving again pushback. I would also like to add, because I think it's critical, again, the secretary job description and advertising, we need help. We have so much that is not being addressed, and too much is on the shoulders of our administrative assistant. I don't understand why this isn't being addressed and again, being ignored. And then the other thing I'll ask for is to have a discussion and vote to invite the attorney that was involved with the bank access investigation that offered to come here and answer questions publicly, but Mr. Burkholder and Ms. McKee are blocking. What are they hiding? I know what they're hiding. I can't say it because they wouldn't release the public, attorney-client waiver on the communications on that. So I have a whole list of other things too, but I would like to ask that those three be amended and added to the agenda.
Is there a second to the motion to amend? Is there a second to the motion to amend? The motion fails to amend. I will make a comment now under discussion. I disagree with Mr. Evans' analysis. I talked to the attorney that conducted the investigation, and they did not want to attend. They didn't want to turn this forum into a circus where Mr. Evans could pepper them with questions and try to change the narrative of what the report actually says. And those investigative reports are on the township's website. Secondly, I did respond to the BZA chair, and in addition to that, I'm not going to turn this meeting into a campaign event for Mr. Evans, and that's one of the reasons that I'm not going to amend the agenda. He wants to continue to discuss things ad nauseum and make false accusations. I've had to put up with those false accusations and insults, as has my colleague to the left and also the fiscal officer, and enough is enough. So that's my comments on the adoption of the agenda and my response to Mr. Evans's constant attacks and false accusations that we're trying to hide something. The bank investigation speaks for itself. Ms. McKee, do you have any comments?
I don't. You said enough.
And I'll respond So I guess you stating that what the attorney told you, we're waiving the communication. So I will state, I have an email from the attorney offering to come in here that
Yeah,
contradicts
let's
Mr. Burkholder, so I will be releasing that. And there is also other emails that indicate that she was directed to limit scope and to limit the report to not be able to weaponize it. So that just shows right there that it was political in nature, that they were, what they were being directed to do. So Mr. Burkholder has lied from the beginning. He lied that he was not contacted by the former fiscal officer on December 13th. He still has not provided those call logs. Those are public records. And I have asked to discuss the issues that the BZA is having. Meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. This has nothing to do with an election or anything like that. This has to do with the proper administration of this township. And Mr. Burkholder is smirking right now that he hasn't gotten back to the BZA chair for weeks upon weeks
That's not
upon
true.
weeks.
I sent an email.
And Mr. Burkholder, this is my time. It's real issue, and especially when staff ignore it. I even provided a records request. The staff ignored that. Ms. Coutinho ignored that. These are serious issues that aren't being addressed, are just being ignored. And again, anybody can
You have
look
1
up
minute.
at the wall over there, the timeline of ignoring of the issue and all the crashes and all the injury that occurred because Mr. Burkholder and Mr. McKee didn't want to address what is required. And again, I had many other items that were needed and they won't allow it. And that is wrong. So it's not just me that is being ignored, but our other chair. And that is utterly unprofessional. And again, why are you hiding, Mr. Burkholder?
I'm not hiding anything.
Let's move on, please.
My last comment is I did respond to the chair about what was going on. I responded regarding
Yeah.
catching up on the minutes. I responded also about the checklist and that the staff had not been included in the checklist, but that had been voted on at the board, and I think staff ought to be involved in that. So that's all I've got to say. Roll call on the agenda, please.
Mr. Evans?
No.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
So proud of that, aren't you? Ignoring all the issues.
You can make all the accusations you want. Adoption of the minutes. I will move to adopt the June 17th, the June 15th, and the August 5th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. We have 3 sets of them here. Seconded by Ms. McKee. Discussion.
Yes, there's been an ongoing serious issue with a lack of proper review of the minutes and their creation. We are repeatedly told that they're being reviewed by others when they are glaring errors still present, suggesting the reviews are not being done or without care. I will be voting no on these and all future minutes until this board is interested in providing correct meeting minutes, which are the official record of the meeting. I've repeatedly made the board aware of serious errors, including missing motions, wrong votes, and even multiple 5 votes cast with non-board members showing to have voted only to be ignored and incorrect minutes shoved through. Additionally, the fiscal officer is neglecting her duty to ensure the meeting minutes correctly reflect the meeting proceedings by certifying them when they are knowingly incorrect. Once there is a willing and competent board, I will move to provide the corrections needed. I ask that the statement in its entirety be placed with each of these motions in the minutes with my no votes now and moving forward. And I would just like to mention that meeting after meeting after meeting, I've discussed the February 20th, 2024 minutes. 2-3 meetings ago, Mr. Burkholder was frivolously scribbling down this date like it was the first time he heard it, and it's still not corrected. This is the state of what's going on in the mismanagement, that he signed the incorrect minutes. There's missing things. We had a motion to approve the zoning inspector and planning position. It's not even indicated in there. And these are official minutes. We could get sued because of this, and other entities have. Why hasn't this been addressed, Mr. Burkholder?
Your time has expired. Do you have anything, Ms.
Yeah, he
McKee?
keeps talking about willing board. That sounds familiar. I thought when you got Mr. Burkholder, when you ran his campaign, he was your willing board. So what
Well,
happened,
he-
Mr. Evans? If they're gonna
He
agree
lied
with
to
you-
everybody for 2
if-
years.
Well, that's not
Okay,
true.
I just thought I'd bring
Mr.
that up.
Evans, I have a question. Did you review any of these 3 sets of minutes that we're approving here tonight? Did you
No.
review any of them? Yes or no?
No, what?
No. Okay.
Because every minutes that I reviewed
My
were
time, this is my
incorrect.
time. You made a statement, so I wanted also put in the minutes that Mr. Evans for, I don't know how many months now, has stated the same thing that he just stated here, and he wants it in the minutes.
Well,
He's not gonna review the minutes. He doesn't do his
Because
work.
He's
He's derelict in his duty
If
to
a snake
work
bites you
with, to
every
work
time.
with this board, all 3, to find, he may find errors that I don't, or I may find things he
Right, or me.
doesn't. He has refused to do his job
Nope.
and review the minutes. He refuses to work with the majority of this board.
No,
That's all I
and
have.
this will be my second discussion here. When I time and time again provide, not opinions of what it should be, the actual votes are missing. It's ridiculous and it's ignored. We've had it time and time again. So if you walk past the rattlesnake and it bites you 18 times, are you going to walk past it again? No. So when there is a willing board that wants to follow the law and a willing fiscal officer that's willing to certify proper minutes, then we'll address it. Even on the website, April 1st is the last minutes provided. There's no transparency
Well, now
in this
we have it caught
leadership.
up.
There's nothing.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
No.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
Okay. We will go to public comments. Does anyone would like to speak? You'll have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address, and please address the board. Does anyone like to speak at this time?
Make sure the mic's on, please.
Hi, Tia River, 9305 Summit Road. This is in response to Trustee McKee's statement to me as I was walking out the door last meeting. No, I don't have to come to the meetings, but if I want to know what's going on in Etna Township, I have to come here. You do not let people know what's going on. It's ridiculous. It sucks. If you would just fix the things that have been asked to be fixed, half of this meeting would be over by now. You have people in the audience who laugh, comment, and everything else while somebody else is talking, but they get the respect of the other people in this room by not saying stuff when they're talking. So that's on you, Mr. Burkholder. If you can't control the audience, then I don't know why you're president. And I am tired. I've learned more about TIFs in the last 2 weeks than I ever wanted to know. You want to know why this township is going down? Because you let corporations who have money out the walls abate all their taxes, and then for 30 years, they're going to put it in a TIF. You know where that money goes at the end of 30 years? Back to the people who built the building. They don't need the money to start the business. You're killing all the people who have regular jobs here because they still get taxed. And then we get taxed more when our schools don't get the money or the fire departments don't get the money. You hire people without interviewing them or advertising for them. You shouldn't be hiring people that people know because there might be a lot of people out there that have a lot more qualifications than the other one. And Holly has a hard job, but you can't do that because it's going to be it's in a toxic environment. Okay, toxic is an overused term for people who can't take criticism. It's happening all over the place. I see this crap on Facebook. I suggested something that we try to do with all the warehouses that are here for the ones that are going to be built in the future by putting solar panels on top of them. Yes, these companies have the money, but would rather do a solar farm out by where we all live that's going to destroy the land. First hailstorm, that land's not usable for the rest of its existence.
30 seconds.
So all I ask is that you guys get your jobs done and you get things approved. It should not take 6 months to get something approved. It should have not taken me asking Reynoldsburg for memos between Mayor Begney and you to find out that you didn't answer them about Summit Road.
Your time has expired. Who's next, please? 3 minutes? Anybody else at this time?
Yeah. Thank you. Rachel Zelazny, 10141 Tollgate Road Southwest. As chair of the BZA, I do want to raise an ongoing concern from our board. Our last meeting was June 25th, and here we are 8 weeks tomorrow without drafted meeting minutes. We've exchanged multiple emails, as you mentioned, about this without resolution. At the June 25th meeting, our board unanimously adopted a BZA process checklist to ensure meeting minutes and documents are completed in a timely and consistent manner. We adopt this procedure for 2 reasons. 1, to prevent future delays, mistakes, and the need to table cases. And 2, to ensure all records are properly documented in the event of an appeals to the courts. I emailed this checklist and procedures to everyone the next day, including all 3 of you. 4 weeks later, I finally received a response from the president, which in so many words stated that the office would not be doing it, which is concerning as the BZA acted unanimously and within its legal authority under the ORC 51913. Now, I do want to address a few points you raised in your email, Gary. The BZA is an independent quasi-judicial body, while zoning staff are employees of the township and report to the administrator if we had one, and trustees. When they are assigned to support the BZA, they are expected to follow the lawful procedures adopted by the BZA. Trustees do not have the authority to override or disregard those procedures unless they are unlawful, which ours are not. It was suggested that the checklist was adopted without zoning staff input. While staff input is always welcome, the BZA is not required to secure staff or trustees' approval to adopt its own internal procedures. Our authority is to ensure fair, timely, and consistent hearings, not wait for administrative approval. While the BZA bases its decision on the evidence presented at hearings, members must also be responsibly prepared ahead of time. If applications and supporting materials are withheld until the last minute, it undermines our ability to conduct fair hearings and exposes the township to appeal risk if an application argues the board was not adequately prepared. As a reminder, township decisions must be made by a board of trustees acting as a body of 3, not a single trustee. Trustees may oversee staff, but no individual trustee has the authority to override a direct staff to ignore an adopted board procedure, whether it's for the BZA, zoning commission, or trustees. Therefore, if the office is not going to follow the BZA's checklist and provide our meeting minutes in a timely manner, then I request that you guys take a formal vote tonight in public session. That way there's accountability and clarity on whether employees are expected to follow the lawful procedures of the BZA or not. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
Good job. Oh, gosh.
Alicia Zacher, 79 Trail East, Etna. We just spent 20 minutes listening to, I don't know, 2, 3 people complain. We spent 2 minutes addressing the flag and saying a prayer. I'd like to know, if you're going to be a trustee, why you don't put your hand up to your chest. I'd like to know why you're not repeating it. If you're going to represent us as of December 5th, some video, you've got your toe jam picking at it up there, sitting there. I mean, act like you want to represent this township. In this township, we say the Pledge of Allegiance, we say a prayer, we try to treat our residents decent. However, if you think you're going to come here and cuss out people, that's not going to happen without getting cussed out back. If you don't like it, don't come.
No one
But
should be cussing.
Nobody should be cussing. In last meeting, there was a lot of
That's right.
cursing going on.
Yes,
And it was
was.
cursing at the trustees.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
where are we? We can all curse if we want to, but, you know, this is about transparency, and let's be transparent. If you don't represent this flag and you don't represent this township, you shouldn't be running for trustee. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Who's next, please?
Ryan Davis, 8807 Watkins Road. I'll try to change the tone of the meeting a little bit. This Thursday at 6 o'clock in the town hall here, we're going to have one of the few meetings per year we have for the new community authority. Mr. Burkholder has provided a packet to us to consider for additional funding for High Point Park out here. I'd encourage anybody that's interested to come hear the presentation and understand more, because Mr. Burkholder, I believe, is going to explain more about the plans, where they sit today, and where we're going to go. So something positive to talk about in the community, and something I think everybody should be aware of. So thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
John Hanson, 51 Ridgewood Drive, Etna, Ohio. Well, Mr. Burkholder, you're a powerful, powerful man. Apparently, every will of Mr. Evans flows from your power and what you do. He attacks you more than anyone I've ever seen. I guess the thing is, you know, it's a tear down thing. If he can tear everybody else down to try and make himself look better, it's kind of amazing. Also, you know, on public records request, I'll put a summary again of the case up here shortly, but we had a final order and we're still waiting on stuff from Mr. Evans. Okay, so you say, So all text messages between Mark Evans and Steve Sly between February 2023 and November 2023. November 30. Are those turned in? Turned in to who? We haven't seen.
Attorney.
Okay. And, you know, we do have a handful of them, so we'll have enough to cross-check. We appreciate that. Then the Lance Schultz emails, I understood, are being worked on, and they did provide quite a few things with no indexing. You took all the email requests and put it in one big PDF of 2,000 records and sent it. So I guess that's marginally complying.
That's the fiscal officer doing that.
Well, however,
That's the fact.
It's not true.
however it's coming back, that's all I'm saying.
It's the attorney. I've sent everything to the attorney.
Yeah, that's right. I did.
As
get
a dump.
I did get him through the.
No, how he told me to do it. I'm not
Well,
arguing with you.
which brings up, I'd like to make a public record request and have the amount of cost, the attorney's cost, on just this public records case. So there was 13 or 14 requests. They fulfilled all but these on the order. Last time I talked to Steve Sly, he said there was 500 some emails. He had them on a safe server. So, you know, maybe I would just like, you know, we'll take a look at them and go from there. You know, it's too early to comment on that. But I'll post this, the final order, and the case, because that seems to be something people are interested in on the public records. The last public records thing I put up had 300 and some people look at it. So the only other thing I was I think I'm going to leave well enough alone. Sometimes just shutting up is the better part about it.
Thank you. Who's next?
I'll speak again because I'm shut down and we can't speak as a normal board apparently. Mark Evans, and again, I've got to do this because this board shuts me down at every opportunity possible. And if you look at the agenda, Ms. McKee's trying to shut down your speech too at a movie night where she previously invited 2 judges to campaign. Now she doesn't want anybody to, but you can't. Now, even the calendar, online. It doesn't have our upcoming workshops. Like, nothing is properly addressed in this township. No calendars, no notices, anything like that. But again, to refuse the BZA an opportunity to speak as the BZA to our board and force her to do under public comments is shameful. That's not how you do it. They're a valuable member of our township, and they have run that board properly. And I've seen the emails. And Mr. Burkholder, you should be ashamed of yourselves, because I've even seen the emails from the attorney, Carly, and through the whole process. And the checklist she approved, and yet now you want to block. And Mr. Ted Walker, our zoning inspector, is refusing willfully to provide documents to both myself, the board chair of the BZA, and others. There's no accountability. You let that happen. Do you want that to happen? Are you telling him to do it? Because he's doing it, and he will not address
the board,
anything.
not
He
the
won't
staff.
even look at me. But the
Address
other
the board,
thing,
Mr. Evans.
Mr. Burkholder, almost the entire time Ms. Lindsay was speaking to you, you were scrolling up and down the
Why are you up there
agenda
defending?
and flipping
Just
through
go.
your agenda, not even paying attention and listening.
That's not true.
It means that little to you. Yeah, no, it is true. I saw you just flipping up and down
Yeah,
on the agenda
exactly.
like you're just trying
I
to
heard
waste some
every
time.
word she said.
So we need to take this seriously, because especially her board is very serious. It can get us in a lot of trouble if they don't do it right. And again, I even did a public records request to Mr. Walker for the packet. I never got it. That's the games he's playing. That's the games you're playing. And that's the games Jackie Coutinho is playing by not providing records. As a board member, I should not have to do public records requests for documents, but I do. But even then, they are ignored. There's no proper staffing here. Everything's shoved onto Holly's shoulders, and it's too much, but yet we won't advertise and bring people in. Ms. Coutinho is spending her time answering phone calls instead of paying her employees.
Your time has expired, sir.
Or saying
Your
why
time
they're
has
not.
expired, sir. Follow the rules that everyone else has to follow, sir.
Please follow the law.
I remind you, you're not an attorney. Go ahead, you have the floor. Please, name and address, please.
Okay.
Facebook attorney.
Phyllis Bundy, 10254 Tollgate Road Southwest. I know you'll probably talk about parks later on, but I want to say this in case I have to leave early or something.
Sure.
Okay. I think there's so much misinformation about High Point Park cost. So many people either only look at Facebook, they don't actually come to the meeting, or they don't watch the video of the whole entire meeting. Because you've stated several times that there's going to be, I know that cost is high, but you've stated so many times that there are grants and other things that are going to offset that. I don't know how you need to get that across to people unless it's maybe through that thing through Win Waste, maybe? I don't know. But there's so much misinformation about it's going to cost so much and all of this, and it's not going to be worth it. And I realize that's a small park, and a lot of people only have small children, and they're interested in that other park that's going to be developed. I understand that. I would be too if I had small children. But over here, I think from what you've said earlier, all of you have said earlier, was that this was going to be just a little stop and park, and it needs to be renovated, which it actually does need to be renovated. The other part about that is that I'm really concerned about the handicap accessible part, that from what I understood when the person gave the presentation about it, that it's going to have gravel going up into it. I think if you were in a wheelchair that you could not get in there properly. I believe that needs to be addressed with that planner.
Right.
That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Right,
Thank you, and I will have some comments
yeah.
under part to the issues you brought up. Who's next, please?
John Kennard, 10785 Palmer Road, Pataskala. Always try to follow Mark when he gets up and puts on his resident hat. He attacks everybody on the board. He puts pictures of people on the board on Facebook, myself too, residents. He uses this platform to belittle people. I don't know if he doesn't have any friends. If he's trying to make friends, he doesn't know how to make them. He needs to change his technique. He made the, if you want to keep up with some of the Etna stuff, read the Pataskala Standard. He made the front page last issue about the bank access that was unauthorized. I've stood up here and said that he has attacked everybody on this board except himself. He does no wrong. He has done, everything's right. And he never attacked Julie. But by golly, after he made the front page, he threw her under the bus. I couldn't believe it. Wow. I didn't know that she was accessing the bank information. I was talking to her.
Please, order, please.
I just-
I'll give you extra time, sir.
Pardon?
I'll give you extra time.
All lies.
So,
You too, Mr. Evans.
That's just Mark's deal. I wish everybody good luck on running for trustee. I think there's 8 or 10 people running, so it looks like about 200 votes, you'll win. So, get out there and campaign good, and we'll maybe get him off the seat, I really hope. Because we can't take much more of this abuse that he hands out to everybody in the neighborhood. I was talking to a resident on Palmer Road that's been here over 70 years, and he said there used to be a gate across Palmer Road. And you went down Palmer Road, you had to get out and open the gate to go through.
Address the board, please.
And close the, you may remember that, and close the gate back. Now we have pictures on the wall of people having accidents, and I feel sorry for those folks. But the driver that's involved in the accident usually has to carry some burden to that. Mink Street is about as open as an intersection as you can get.
30 seconds.
And, if you don't pay attention and pull out, I don't think it's the township's fault. Mark kind of put the township in liability there because he said, yep, we've been complaining about stuff not getting mowed. Yeah, boy. So maybe.
And there were bushes.
Maybe the township ought to pay for that. If I was the insurance people, I'd be coming after you because you guys been neglecting your mowing.
It was violation of
Time.
zoning that they neglected.
Time.
And the former
Who's
Administrator
next?
Hanson.
Anyone else?
I think you got everybody now.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate no more flicking off or anything like that.
Is the JBW access line item on public comments, or should I speak now? Or
That's on the agenda.
But you should speak now.
can I speak
Yeah.
during that?
No,
agenda?
public comments, please.
Why? It's on the agenda. Can't we do things
You asked it to be on the
Well, no,
agenda.
I can speak later after you guys. When you guys
Who are you with?
The property owner?
Oh, yes, okay, as far as the emergency
that's
access.
That's our next
Yeah.
section.
You've met him many times.
Yes, I have, but I didn't know what he was
I know,
going to be
I've got my
speaking.
glasses on.
I didn't know what he was going to speak to, though.
He just said the JBW.
You put the JBW on there, and I didn't know in advance, Mr. Evans, so I thought if he had comments like the other residents on various issues.
So I'll wait until
But if
that.
you're gonna speak to that specific issue, since you are the property owner of that, yes.
It's under zoning, number 1.
Thank you.
Okay, roads. First item is, and it is attached, is the Ashley River Phase 2 or extension for the engineer. And I do have a resolution, and then we also have the Columbia Road and the attachments for that regarding a request for engineering assistance. And the, let me pull it
Again, you only have to do one or the other, not both. The engineer request, township request for engineering assistance, that's all you need. You don't need a resolution.
I know you've made that many times, but I have the resolution here tonight, so I'll move to pass resolution 2025-054 and request for engineering assistance for Ashley River Drive and Columbia Road. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll go first since I made the motion. Two things. The Ashley River Road is the second half of that for Drayton Hall has not been completed. That is the main entrance to the park. The reason I'm bringing these forward at this time is I feel if we're going to put together, which we've talked about numerous times, Mr. Evans, about a 5-year capital improvement as it relates to transportation, then now is the time to get the base pricing, and obviously that goes up as time goes on. But the completion of that road is probably the first step toward the improvement to the large park.
Yes.
Because we won't be able to get into the park until that second half, which an agreement was made by a previous board that would not be the responsibility of the developer, but that would be the responsibility of the township. So that's the first item.
Right.
And
Well,
then
on that, before we go to second, I believe the developer already came up with those costs and even explained them here. So why do we need another estimate? If it's not going to be done now for bidding purposes, just for estimates for budgeting, why wouldn't we just go off of that instead of wasting the engineer's time?
well, I don't consider it a waste of time, and quite frankly, I want an independent evaluation of it rather than just taking the developer's estimate. I think it's important that we have our representative give us that estimate.
Well, I believe they
The
obtained
second,
bids.
yeah, and those bids are old. The second has to do with Columbia Road. I actually talked about this many years ago. Columbia Road is obviously from US 40 all the way up to Refugee Road. It needs to be reconstructed. It's needed to be constructed for a long, long time. It's an unsafe road. We have safety issues when it comes to the school, trying to drop kids off. They do have crossing guards there, but people speed up and down that road. It has some sidewalks. It doesn't have complete sidewalks. And there's a 23-acre parcel adjacent to that road that someday is going to be developed. So I think it's time that we get an estimate for that as well. My recommendation, of course, this is open to board discussion. It needs to be totally reconstructed with stormwater, sidewalks, a center turn lane, curb and gutter. It's going to get more traffic as things develop. And I think that should be the next priority for the township. There are safe routes to school funding through ODOT, and that would be part of the package. And then also we can look possibly to MORPC to assist. MORPC has assisted us in many projects, including the 310 and then now on Pike Street as well. And so that's the reason that would like to get an estimate on that as well, because it'll probably, if you look how long Pike Street has taken, it's 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So now is the time to address that issue so that we put that in our long-term transportation capital improvement plan. That's all I have. Anything from my colleagues?
Yeah, I'd just say the reason things take so long is just because it's inefficient and things aren't addressed properly. Yeah, something like Pike Street is a little bit more involved, but we also have a lot of other projects. Like I said, Meek and Palmer, that needs a roundabout. And on what was it, July 15th, he blocked any advancement of that, working with the engineer or the commissioner to bring that into effect. And I think someone's life there, again, is a little bit more in danger than on Columbia Road. And I know that's been a pet project of yours before you got elected. You wanted to see that done, but I think we should look at everything in totality. And as you're aware, back in 22, I presented the Master Transportation study that was blocked back then. That's something we definitely need to do. And maybe identified areas. There's people that have been very concerned about students walking to school on 40. There's been, it's throughout the township, and I don't think we should just focus on one thing. Why aren't we looking at everything and then focus? I mean, if the engineer wants to do this, just to get an estimate for years in advance, I guess, okay, but it just seems like out of phase.
Yeah. Well,
Ms. McKee?
as far as Route 40, it is a highway, so we cannot put sidewalks down 40, so that was a big rumor. And that can't happen down by the high school. Mink and Palmer, right now, there is a road study being done. I think if we decide to invest, I think we should invest right at that Mink and Palmer, maybe a roundabout, widen a little part of the Mink Road through there as well. Not saying in the near future Columbia Road can't be looked at, but I think we should focus on the Mink and Palmer round and maybe do the roundabout after the study comes back, which is supposed to be completed this year. So I think that's something we need to really consider.
I think you're right. I guess I want to make a brief clarification. Merely getting these estimates does not necessarily mean those are priority projects. We're not setting Columbia and Ashley Drive as number 1 and 2 right now. I do want to correct some things, though. I didn't block anything. I've been in touch with the county engineer. It's been reported in a public meeting, Mr. Evans, that they're going to do a study, and it should be done, they think, by the end of the year. And they're looking at current data. That's how they do the study. Unfortunately, how many crashes have you had? I'd also like to add there was a fatality on Columbia Road several years ago, maybe more than several years ago. So I agree with that as well. But a roundabout, I can tell you, is millions and millions of dollars. And that should be on the capital improvement plan as well. Another thing, since we're talking about roads, well, I'll make that a separate issue since we're talking about this here. So this is merely gathering information at this time because it does take years. And any project we have in the township, you have to identify the funding first. That's all I got.
Great.
Roll call, please.
So wait,
What are we doing?
It's
Vote on this
resolution
resolution
25, and just for the record, our resolutions aren't the full years, the 25 dash. Somebody keeps putting 25 dash. It's just 25-054.
Go ahead. Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Sure, yes.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, who first? Gary?
Yes.
Who second?
Item 3, illuminating stop sign quotes. We have 2 quotes here, and I will have our road superintendent this time. Would you give us just a brief overview of these 2 different quotes? And these would be lighted stop signs at Mink and Palmer. It'll be a total of 4 signs. Go ahead. Yeah, come up to so everyone can hear you.
And then for clarification, one's Mr. Copley's and one was mine from Granger.
Yeah, I didn't get that Granger one. That you changed the agenda via
No, I didn't change the
Diligent.
agenda. I added a document.
at 11 o'clock last night, correct?
Yeah, and I received this resolution minutes ago.
I
Like,
understand
what,
that. Oh, come on. Go ahead. What was it? I don't have the Granger quote, but go ahead.
if you use the diligence system, you would.
Well, I am on the diligence system.
I've got 2 quotes here for the lighted stop signs.
Yes, sir.
They're 36-inch stop signs, 36 by 36. They're LED, they're solar panel. So they're each one's for 4 of them, 2 on each side, primary and secondary, on both sides of the intersection. Clean Incorporated's quote is $10,140, and Peterson is $7,514.40.
What's Granger, Mr. Evans?
Granger was 9,000. Because I didn't, the only documentation that I was provided was the Clean. I didn't have the Peterson. And that's one thing that we need to start doing is just put all the documents in the diligence system, then everybody has them, the public has them. It's shared and it's available during the meeting.
Okay.
Is there any difference between the Kleeman Peterson that you would say would justify going to clean for $3,000 or $2,500 more?
No, I actually thought the clean would be cheaper, but they're not. So, I mean, that's why I shop around trying to find something that's comparable and, cheapest for the, for the money, so.
What was that price again, 75?
75.14 and 40 cents.
And that included shipping in that? Because I know it seems like they charge a lot more for these.
It's shipping, I'll have to go to Columbus to pick it up from Paul Peterson's yard.
Okay.
But, and they're the solar ones?
Yep, both of them solar, and they got battery backup. And,
I would like to make a suggestion to the board. If we do decide to vote to purchase these, that we order an additional set, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Is because if a car plows through that and knocks it down, the county engineer will come out and just put a regular one back up. So if we have to replace it, we should purchase one to have it ready on hand. That's
Well, you're gonna
suggestion.
put two on each side. 'cause
Again.
There's a left and a right.
Again,
So you could just temporarily and then just order it
Again.
instead of it sitting.
again, I just said it would be a suggestion to have it on hand because they will come out and replace it with a regular stop sign.
Well, my question, has the county engineer been agreed to, have, this is their intersection, their signs.
That's
Have they
correct.
agreed to us replacing them with these?
Yes, they have.
Yeah, you have to apply for it
Have
right
they,
away.
has there been any discussion about their sharing the cost?
Yes, there has.
Well, would you like to enlighten us?
Yes, I would. This will be on us, because if
Yes,
they go
that's
ahead
right.
and pay for these,
That's right.
and county engineer told me directly, then they will have
Yeah.
every township
Go
and
ahead.
everyone
That's
asking
right.
that they go ahead. So it's
Mr. McKee.
it's really a cost factor. So do you want to make that an amendment, Mrs. McKee?
Yes, I I think, if I'm not mistaken, we still have to apply for a right-of-way permit?
right away, correct.
Okay, that's why I wanted to make sure. Yeah.
So did you want to amend the motion?
I
to
would
add-
amend the motion to add additional set to
Oh.
the purchase of the ones that we're going to purchase with the same company.
And I'll second the motion because that was one of the recommendations that the county engineer made as well in my conversation with him. So any further discussion on the amendment?
Yeah, I could see the additional one if there was only a single one, but you got two. So maybe temporarily you got one that's just flashing that. You still got it flashing while you order it. Just to pay for it seems.
Roll call on the amendment, please.
All right, mid-sentence, sentence, let's roll call.
Mr. Evans?
No.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
And now I'll have a roll call on the main motion as amended.
Well,
Not
more
to-
discussion too.
Okay,
I
go
got
ahead, Mr.
One quick thing. This is only a partial solution because the majority of accidents there believe that the mink traffic is going to stop and that's why they pull out. So this may help some, but again, we need that full thing. And again, I'd like to point out, 2 years ago, the resident spoke to Ms. McKee about this and we're going to do it. And here we are 2 years later,
out of order,
after
Mr.
she speaks to me
You're attacking
and I have her
people
come
again.
in.
Mr.
Roll-
Evans,
roll
let's
call.
move
It shouldn't
forward.
take 2 years for
Roll
safety.
call, roll call, please. We're going to move things along here and get things
Mr.
done.
Evans?
Yes,
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
and
Motion
2 years
passes.
is moving
Civil
things
Line
along.
6.
Thank you. No.
Thank you, Mr. Copley.
Yes, correct. No, we're buying 5 because you have a replacement. We constructed 4.
She said 2.
Yeah, because remember.
No, if one.
No, you said 1.
So,
Yeah.
right, but I mean
So
5.
5,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't, Mr. Evans.
that's the
And
problem.
unfortunately,
You
you're against
continue to be a
everything that comes to the
No,
board.
no, it's just
Every
nothing.
Everything that comes
Moving
to
along
the board.
is 2 years.
I'll make
Okay,
I
go on.
have
In the
a,
wrong position.
this next document is from Smart Services, and our county engineer, Jared Noor, got this. This is to do a traffic study
Yes.
of Palmer and Taylor Road.
Yes.
There is a problem, and so I'll move to accept this quote and move forward with this project. It's for $3,900 and it's to study that intersection and the signaling there.
Yes.
We're getting numerous reports, and in fact, we're having people cut through the Vineyard Church, and that's certainly not as safe, and people just backing up on Taylor because Palmer stays green too long, and it backs that traffic up. So I think this is the process you have to go through. We do have to pay. So I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I know we have an ongoing traffic study with Reynoldsburg
Yes.
regarding Taylor. Is that data going to be used in this? And have they already maybe done the collection of data that this company is going to be doing? Have you looked into that?
From my understanding, they have a report that should be coming out this week from Reynoldsburg for that.
No, but I'm saying that they've done data.
That's the one that I'm
collection data.
referring to.
So has, Mr. Burkholder, have you
I have not.
checked with?
I have not.
Do you think that would be prudent to do
my-
instead of order a whole new study? When
Well,
maybe
it's
they
not
did it?
it's not a whole new study, but I would suggest that we pass this tonight, and I think your point's well made, and coordinate with Reynoldsburg. And we'd have to talk to the county engineer to see if they're going to use any of that data, if there's coordination between that data, which I think makes sense.
I agree, because I know there is a study down there that
Roll
we
call, please.
supported.
Mr. Evans?
Yes,
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes,
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
but those things should be
Motion
thought of
passes.
before.
Mr. Evans, you can
No, it's
criticize
not-
all you want. Well,
nothing
some of
to
us,
do with property.
well, some of us are actually working at things instead of criticizing others on Facebook
You're not working
constantly.
if you don't check
Yes,
into
we
what
are.
you need to.
Well, you know, when you
Asking
have,
somebody
when
else
you
to get
never,
proposals
when you
is not
never,
working.
when you never help anyone, get these things done. Now we'll go to zoning, JBW, emergency exit. Mr.
Yeah.
Sabatino, Mr. Sabatino, oh, go ahead, Mr.
Well,
Evans.
just quickly, again, last meeting, you promised that I would get the JBW zoning. I again did not. Mr. Walker has not forwarded that to me, nor have you. So again, it's
My
even public
understanding
records,
that was
they're not being provided, so what work are you doing?
You can criticize all you want. It's my understanding.
We don't
that
have it.
was
It's
sent-
zoning. It should be on the website too.
It's PUD zoning is what it is, and that PUD zoning, but I'd like to recognize Mr. Sabatino because he might.
So you
some-
don't have a copy
He
of
might,
that?
yes, we do have a copy.
Then why isn't it forwarded?
Well, if you would cooperate with the
No, no, no,
zoning.
no. You
I'm
said
not
you were
gonna
gonna forward
argue.
it.
I'm not gonna argue with you, Mr.
Mr.
Evans.
Walker,
Mr.
why have you not
Sabatino,
forwarded that
Mr. Evans, you
zoning?
are an obstructionist to the
No, I'm
proceedings
asking
in this
Mr.
body.
Walker why he has not forwarded that.
You are not going to continue to browbeat Mr. Walker or anybody else. during
A
this
question is
meeting.
not browbeating.
You're out of order.
Ignoring me and being insubordinate.
You're out of order. You can campaign outside of
No,
the
it's
hall,
like, I can't
not
get-
inside the
I
hall.
can't get simple documents.
Mr. Sabatino, you have the floor.
Mr. Walker, why are you?
You're
ignoring
out of
me?
order, Mr. Evans.
This is what he does.
This is what you do. You
No.
browbeat people constantly.
Ask an official asking
Mr.
employee
Sabatino, you have the floor.
documents is not
You have the
browbeating.
floor.
They're public records.
Hi, good evening.
Go ahead, Mr. Sabatino.
Hi, good evening,
Hi,
RJ
Mr.
Sabatino. How are you? Thanks for having me here this evening. Property owner for the subject of the discussion here this evening, or rather the item that we're on. I wasn't exactly sure where to start. I know that this was just placed on the agenda, so I didn't know if
That's fine.
how you want me to go or what the consideration is for this evening. We purchased the property. We're advancing through engineering. We already have zoning, as you mentioned, PUD, and this secondary access is required now by the fire department to be made and constructed with a certain material. And the PUD text, the zoning text, allows for the fire department to make those changes as necessary. And I've got a letter here from the fire department, Doug White and Jack Trenish, and I can share that with you guys if you'd like to read it. That just reviews the requirements of the fire department. I think that's all that we're trying to confirm here this evening, is my understanding. Would you like me to pass these out?
Yes, please.
Yes, please do. Start with the fiscal officer, please.
And do you have a copy of the text?
You don't have now? Say again?
Do you need another one?
I've only got 4.
Thank you.
So
That's fine.
you guys want to share?
Yep.
Here, I can
I've
make a
got,
copy.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I know the residents have also requested a copy of the zoning from Mr. Walker and has not received it.
We have a copy of the zoning for one of the residents affected, so that's what was.
No, that was a draft. And we shouldn't be relying on resident copies of stuff. We should have that zoning.
Yes, we
And
should.
again, Mr. Walker, why isn't that being
Mr.
provided?
Evans,
Mr. Evans, please stop.
yes, please.
No. How about please provide the documents? It's do your job.
Go ahead, Mr.
So
Sabatino.
if we want to take a second to read this,
Yeah.
or I can read it aloud, whatever works for
Here,
you.
we can share.
The access drive should be maintained.
Well, yes, we know this is a change from what was gonna be grass and pavers, and it's gone to concrete or asphalt.
Correct.
And I understand the concerns of the residents. It's off of Runkle. It connects to Cumberland Estates to the north. It's gonna be an emergency access, a second access, as opposed to having a second access, which is required by the fire department. The previous, correct me if I'm incorrect, but the previous owner of that property apparently had made arrangements with the residents that border both sides. There's two homes there on that little short stretch that connects Cumberland Trail to Cumberland Estates. And said that, it'd be pavers, everyone thought it would be pavers, grass, they would maintain it. But this has to be maintained in perpetuity, not by the adjacent property owners. And it is a requirement because, as this says here, 85,000 pound
Or a fire truck.
fire apparatus have to be able to go across that surface and make sure they don't get stuck and that it holds up. We do need to look closely at the zone. I don't know if there's anything, that zoning was approved by the township, so I don't know if there's anything that can be done to change that zoning. I would like to ask, I guess, why the consideration was not made to have it come off of 310.
That's expensive.
Yeah, this is what the fire department's desirous of, so we're trying to proceed in the way that the fire department wants. I can forward you the zoning text if you want. I don't know if you said maybe.
That's
don't
fine,
have
let's
it.
check what text you have, and
Sure.
we'll check what we have. But my question is, as the owners, did you request that this be the access to your property as opposed to off of 310?
We weren't present, we weren't the property owners when it got zoned, so when it did go through the rezoning.
But it got rezoned.
No, we did not do the rezoning. So when it was rezoned and the zoning was passed before we acquired it, this was meant to be the secondary emergency access with the one single primary coming off of 310. So then we purchased the property and this zoning was already in place. And so now the fire department says, well, grass pavers can't hold an $85,000 truck,
Right.
which makes sense. So
And was that Mr. Weiler that,
he was the previous property owner.
and he did the rezoning?
He did the rezoning.
Okay, thank you for that
And,
clarification.
yeah, and I think it was, Mike Shannon was the attorney that was here
Okay.
during the hearings.
Very
but,
And
and I can get on my phone, I think, and forward you the zoning text right now, and if you want to read the provision that goes through the emergency access that will have, okay, it will be, what it will be, however, it needs to go through all of the necessary approvals,
Right.
including the fire department, so the fire department needs to be able to get a truck back there.
Right.
So it's my understanding that we've confirmed with council and we've been kind of coordinating with Mr. Walker as well, that we need, or we don't need to go through a rezoning process for this. This is an administrative request to go through the engineering. So that's what we're kind of here for this evening, is my understanding, but I didn't put this on the agenda.
from my recollection, I mean, the PMUD is its own set of zoning. It's, you can do whatever you want in there. And I know that the group of residents at one time were gonna do a referendum on this, and they agreed that if it is that the grass path and all that, it wouldn't, and that was actually in the zoning text. So I disagree with Mr. Walker saying, oh, we could just go through it, because there's been a lot of mistakes on his end on a lot of stuff. That if we can't get our zoning text again, it should be a simple file, and I still don't have it. So that raises the concern, but I do believe, and I'm sure I've got the video of the meetings and all that. But again, we shouldn't rely on the zoning text from a developer, but why can't you tomorrow morning send that zoning text to myself and the resident that requested it. It's been over a month.
Mr. Evans, why don't you come in person and work cooperatively with the zoning inspector, rather than constantly
He won't
browbeating?
respond, he
Okay.
won't. How many times do I have to
Mr.
tell you? He
Sabatino,
won't even respond to email.
I think that's, I don't think we need to read that whole thing, but thanks for that clarity on it, and we'll go forward. But if you have documents,
But if you
please
could forward that, what
So-
you have.
to
So
the
this
board.
is- I understand, thank you. Thank you for your time. So what's the next step forward for us, because this is what is.
Well, there's going to be another technical review of this, it's my understanding, and I think we need to look clearly at the zoning text. I think Mr. Evans, does it have to be rezoned? If that was part of the zoning text. This is a unique situation in that the fire department has now changed their requirements for that. And so there seems to be a disagreement is which text is going to be governing. Does it have to go through a formal process now, in that the requirements changed, but the requirement seems to be in conflict with the alleged zoning, the rezoning document.
Sure, and like anything else, like if a PUD is approved and then the county subdivision regulations, you still have to follow the county subdivision regulations. Like you still have to follow what the fire department requires. So this is what the fire.
Yeah, and that's where you have to reconcile that. A lot of people don't realize that's why we have these technical review committee things, because there's various parties involved and there's various regulations involved. A lot of people don't realize in all of this development, we do the zoning, but then you've got the county subdivision regulations as well. The fire department is there, and then also soil and water are also there. So it's making sure that all those requirements are met, and on occasion, they do come in conflict.
Yeah, and we just wanna proceed and get through this, and our council believes that this is just an administrative item.
Well-
And I understand, and you guys have to do your own confirmation. And, I mean, we're trying to move forward as best as we can. I mean, we're in a housing crisis and we want to move forward with this, as is our right, to move forward with this. So we're trying to move forward in good faith, and that's what we want to do.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to say, I'm looking forward to moving forward too, but I can't get a copy of the text from our own staff.
Mr. Evans. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So, what, is this going to be another item on the township, or were you just saying we're pushing this to the TRC, or is that what the next step is? To
Based on the
TRC?
information we have here tonight, we're going to assemble it, and we'll have a discussion with the zoning office and also with the TRC.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Scanel update. I'll now defer to the zoning inspector for a brief update on the Scanel.
Sir, Mr. President. First of all, I just want to make one mention of one thing. Any public record request that's ever been made from the zoning office since I've been here has been complied with.
It has not.
Excuse me, sir, I'm speaking first. The proper, and everybody that works for the staff and everybody that's on this board knows that if you want a public records request through Etna Township, no matter what department it is, you are to go to PPR at Etna Township. Is that correct? PRR.
And that's not the law.
Mr. Evans, quit it, or?
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Be happy to comply with any request that's made with, but I also want to say that any trustee that has any information that would help us with any project we're dealing with is invited, is encouraged, and is desired to come in and either meet with us in person or by phone. We're not going to deal on Facebook.
Right.
We're not going to deal
How
on
about
social.
email?
Excuse me, I'm speaking. We're not going to deal on social media. We're going to deal with these things in the logical. We're relying on our attorneys. We're trying to get opinions trying to get opinions today from the assistant prosecutor. Can't do it because of the turmoil and the chaos and the toxic environment that's being created. I have to have a resolution to get them to answer a simple question. So if you want to speed things up, if you want action,
we'll be happy to give action. We're doing everything that we're doing with the backing and the support of our zoning consultants, our zoning attorney, and we're not varying from that at all, not a little bit. So just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. As far as Scanel, 2 weeks ago on August 13th, I met with Rob Cesarnes. He's the Vice President of Project Manager for Scanel, and Clark Davis, who is Windscapes, who is their landscaping contractor. We focused on 3 main issues. We got a lot of dead, we're missing trees along Tollgate Road. They're going to be replaced. They've got the road right of way on the east side of Tollgate, which is in very bad shape as far as rough, and the grass is a mess. They're going to rock hound that and reseed that. The swale on the east side of the wall, Scanel is committed to repairing or reconstructing the entire swale and replanting the shrubs according to the approved project final plans. All of these things are going to be done before September 30th of this year. I spoke this afternoon with Neville Watson with the Licking County Planning Commission. He advised me that the swale is the only outstanding issue that the Licking County Planning Commission has with the Scanel site. The only other issue that's hanging out there, which concerns a lot of people, is the wall, the location, the height of the wall. We were provided, and all 3 trustees were provided today with the as-built of the wall. The only thing that can happen now to verify if they're correct is if an engineer is hired to be able to consolidate or compare the 2 documents. So basically, the as-built are what they built. And that's this survey was done by a professional survey. The final plan, the final approved plan, was what was intended to be built. If those two things match, that's pretty much it. If they don't match, then the trustees will need to decide what to do next. These are not zoning decisions. I'm bringing information to the trustees. It's theirs to deal with. Okay, so the swale is going to be taken care of in September. The dead or missing trees, September. The road right of way will be repaired September. The wall will be up to the trustees.
I have a comment on that because I went out there and Mr. Burkholder was there also, took a video. It was over a year ago and we heard the same thing. The swale was going to be addressed. I forgot what the timeline was, very quick and all that. None of it's being addressed. The one issue with the wall too that still hasn't been addressed is there was a sound study done when the wall was much further in and much higher up. Now the trustees at that time, one of them sitting here, Mr. Carlisle, decided to give their trustees the ability to move the wall, and they put it 8 foot. And the question still hasn't been answered. Was that proper? Was there a new sound study? Was the wall modified? Or did they take the wall that was proper at 30 foot and much higher, move it in a lower location? And that's where I got a call from a resident say, I could see the trucks over the wall. And I had to go verify, and I thought maybe they're on their roof, second story. Nope, standing right next to their house, you could see the trucks going right by. That still hasn't been answered, but regarding participation with zoning staff and that, Mr. Walker, I've asked numerous times in email, it's documented, and you've refused. Now, the problem with phone calls and in person is information changes, and I know at least 3 residents have said that you've lied to them.
Mr.
So
Evans,
we need
you're
things
out
on the record.
No, Mr. Evans, you're out of order.
And that's not what we're getting. And again, obviously you speak, so I'm asking, when am I going to get a copy of the PMUD text for JBW, Mr. Walker?
You're off topic, Mr.
When?
Evans, and now I will speak.
Mr. President,
When?
Mr. President, may I speak,
Go ahead.
please?
Yes, sir.
It's a public record, and you're
President,
wrong.
I've got the floor.
Public
please. I've got
record.
He
the
has
floor.
the floor. You're out of
You are
order,
wrong on
trustee.
I've got
public
the
records
floor.
request.
I've got the floor. I'm
glad
not going
you're
to sit here and
speaking.
debate, I'm not going to debate with you because that's a losing
Just provide
proposition.
the
Yes, it is.
record.
What I'm going to say is this. All we're trying to do is provide documents and the evidence.
Then do it. Why after a month?
Would you
and
please
Okay,
show
okay.
a little bit of decorum? Just
Can you answer my
Okay,
question?
we're not, Mr. Walker, with all due respect, you're fine, but I'm not gonna have this back and forth, because Mr. Evans is gonna continue to badger
All I want
you
is a document.
all night long.
Mr.
Now I will speak, his time's expired, I will speak. It's been months and months ago. I brought to this board and wanted to hire an engineer and do a survey, and Mr. Evans said no. First of all, we have to find out, well, are we even gonna have a legal, if we even gonna have a legal leg to stand on? Well, you don't know until you get the data. And Mr. Evans is right. They have said, they've gone on and on, we're gonna get this corrected, we're gonna get this corrected. I've been out there more than once walking that wall. I know exactly what's going on. First of all, the plan wasn't a very good plan. Why plant a 4-foot bush when you got, at some points, a 20-foot wall, some points, a 11-foot wall, a 12-foot wall, and the problem area is a 10-foot wall, which sits down in a swale, and the parking lot, a FedEx is 4, maybe 6, maybe 8 foot higher, and that's why you see the trucks. Mr. Walker and I went out and even tried to do some light measurements as well, as far as the light coming over. But at the end of the day, you have to compare the final development plan, which may have been defective, and Mr. Evans is right because I've reviewed the text. And the previous boards, 2 previous boards, put the discretion of the location of the wall in the hands of the trustees. That was bad policy. It should have been on the plan. It will be this far back. It will be mounded. It will have the trees. That's what the residents were told, but that's not what got in the plan. And now that we finally, they've been dragging their feet on the subdivision regulations. There's no doubt about it. They never seem to get it done. And the Campbell ditch, which is an underground ditch, which we discovered wasn't even properly connected on the drainage. And there is a swale on that side. And the catch basins were a foot higher than the swale, so the water's gonna sit in the back there. And we finally got the as-built. And so now you compare the as-built, and I think you said it well, Mr. Walker. What was built, does it match with what they said they were gonna build? And if it's not, then we, the trustees, need to take action. Now, I'd like us to hire an engineer now it's not that people haven't been doing anything. We've been fighting hard, and so has, I'll give credit to Licking County. They have constantly gone after them, another meeting, another walkthrough, another meeting, another walkthrough. Violation, they had like 40 violations. The document's a public record. Anyone wants to see it. But I'm a little sick and tired of people saying we're not doing anything here at Town Hall because we're working our tails off on multiple projects. So people can beat on me all they want about Scanel, but I know what I'm talking about. And Mr. Walker, now we finally got the information, and we coordinate with the county every single week, every week. So now that we got the data, where does the board stand? Do you want to have an engineer look at it or not, Mr. Evans? Or do you want to constantly criticize everybody?
And this goes back well over a year.
What have you done?
You were supposed to get an opinion from the attorney of what's enforceable, what's not. When they moved the wall, did the new sound study need to be done, or was there
recommended a
anything
survey.
changed? And so where is that? Because you said at that time it was in progress. I spoke to the attorney and he had no clue.
Well, that's not true. Any action,
So what-
any action going to be taken?
No,
Mr.
well,
I
McKee,
can
you
just
have
say
the
this.
floor.
If you
You
said it
have the
wasn't
floor,
true,
Mrs.
what was the determination
in order
of the
to-
attorney?
Mr. President, can I speak to one more point to that?
Go ahead.
I just want to, first of all, I just want to say, if there are any residents here that live on Lynn's Road, you're going to see action early in September. If you see, hopefully they'll be knocking on your door, letting you know they're coming. They're going to be replacing or renovating the entire swale from the front along 40 all the way to the back close to 70. So they are going to have to get in some backyards. So if you're going to see them,
Let him finish.
All I can say to you is, let's be patient for 2 or 3 more weeks. Okay? Let's get to that point. Whatever the evidence is, the evidence is. We can't suppose it, we can guess, but we're not going to guess. So let's get to the point for the residents, not for anybody else, for the residents to get to this point, whatever it is.
Mr. Key,
But it has been done, and it's been done in conjunction with the engineer's office, with Licking County Soil and Water, with Licking County Planning Commission. It's all been done in an orderly, organized fashion.
Yeah.
Okay? They can hump and grump and do all they want. Doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. We'll be okay.
Ms. McKee?
Well, just as far as the wall is concerned, the wall, in order to replace that wall or to fix it, you're talking over $1 million.
Correct.
Over $1 million. So I'm glad and I'm happy to hear the fact that we can go in and take care of the swells, that part, because a lot of the residents had water in their backyards. And this is something that we can start getting results. So I'm happy to hear that, and I appreciate what you've done, Ted, to get things moving forward with the
And
county.
I'd like to make a correction when the inspector said that this has nothing to do with zoning. It does. Now, it wasn't this zoning inspector that gave the occupancy permit before anything was done, but that's why it's important that those permits, occupancy permits, aren't given before, because we see that with Calder Concrete. That's still not addressed.
You're out of order.
No,
You're
no,
out
it's
of order.
not out of
Yes, you are.
order.
It's not on topic.
Just because
We're
there's
moving on.
criticism
We're
isn't out
moving
of
on.
order.
We're moving
But I
on
would like
to.
to let
We're moving
everybody
on to.
know
We're
that
moving
what
on
he
to
said
storm.
about public records.
We're on
You
to-
could stand up right now and ask for it. He is wrong.
We're moving on to stormwater. Yes?
Yep.
We're moving on to stormwater, Brandy Mill Estates. This is another one. The flooding of the pond over to Jordan Manor on Astor Court. There has been progress made on this. We've been coordinating with Linda Nicodemus with Soil and Water, with the HOA for Brandy Mill Estates. I've talked to at least one resident on Astor Court. Brandy Mill Estates has a management company. We've been in touch with them as well. And there was confusion, and I'll be as quick as I can. First of all, it was a basketball, apparently, blocking the overflow. Now, there's actual video that it's a boulder. But in addition to that, the US EPA and the Ohio EPA came out, and they inspected our garage, and I want to recognize Mr. Copley now, because we have to be in compliance with our stormwater. And that's why we got that H2O grant for $32,000 to take care of salt, washing off our trucks and everything, and making certain we control the salt and what gets into the stormwater. But they also, so they wanted to see somebody that does a good job, which was our garage, and then they wanted to see a problem area, and that's Brandy Mill Estates, and it's that pond. And that pond also has other major problems. There's erosion. There's overgrowth, the actual where the outlet and some of the flow is supposed to be directed, because of all the trees and a lack of maintenance, it's not in the right place. So the question now is, they have a quote to remove the boulder, but I've advised both the HOA and the management company, and they have a contractor price now, that they need to do more than that, because removing that won't be enough. They've got to take care of the vegetation, they've got to take care of the erosion, and they've got to redirect where that overflow should properly be going. And so that's the status of that. So the next step is, one, how do they get a comprehensive solution? And two, all those costs fall on the HOA. And the question is, does the HOA have enough money to execute on all those corrective actions? If not, the other option is a ditch petition. I won't go into a lot of explanation on that, but a ditch petition is a mechanism that can be implemented that everybody that feeds into that watershed will have an assessment on their property tax. And we had one years ago on Jordan Manor when there was a giant sinkhole. And so that's another option. That hasn't been decided. But the bottom line is, it's moving forward. And thanks to Soil and Water and to Ohio EPA and US EPA, because they have to come in compliance. But we're trying to assist them. And a misnomer was that Soil and Water would fix the problem out there for free. That's not true. It's simply not true. They will come out and assist for free and help identify the problem.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the cost of corrective action falls on the HOA working with their management company. So that's the latest on that. I just want to correct some of that false information that's been out there on Facebook.
Who's been saying
And the
no?
fact
I
that-
haven't seen anybody saying they do it for free. And
Well, I did, so that's that. Does the board have any input or
Yeah,
questions?
this should have been done
There you
years
go
ago.
again.
We
There
go.
you go
Yeah.
again.
We go.
You didn't do anything.
Purposeful yes, I did.
What do you?
What do you mean contacting someone? I've been talking to Linda Nicodemus. I've been pushing all this stuff. I've been talking to the residents. I've been, like, you Johnny, come lately, try to get some stuff through when you get some pressure,
Well,
but
that's-
these
that's
things should have
totally
been
false.
addressed years ago.
That's totally false.
No, it should have been addressed years ago. Should there be any monitoring of what's going on to ensure a little prevention instead of reaction?
Well, Mr. Evans, you know, you've been
No,
here
that's just like our alleys.
You've been
that we'll
here,
be dealing
you've
with
been here
next.
3.5 years.
And
Now,
have been blocked time and time
onto
again.
the park, did you have anything?
I don't.
Onto the parks. A great question about the parks, and I'll be putting something out about the funding on the park here. This park goes back to 1831, 1833, and we're moving along. The good news, because everyone needs a little bit of good news, is we did get approved by the Licking Park District for another $79,000. So the 150 through the Ohio Capital Grant, 125,000 commitment already from the new community authority, 79,000 from the Licking Park District, and then this Thursday, and this board passed a resolution to go back to the new community authority and request another 135,000, and that would leave us around 160 to 165,000 that would have to come out of the Etna general fund.
Yeah, but of that 1/3 is the grants. Another third is when you take that money from the NCA, you can't spend it on something else. So it's not like it's free money that could have been used for the new park, but it is an improvement, but it is a huge cost for a minor improvement. Again, it's take out the existing fence, put the fence in. Take out the existing path, put the path back in. It's, especially with all our increasing costs, and I don't even know where, I mean, we had the engineer estimates for repaving your neighborhoods. And,
Right.
the other one,
Right.
where that is, that was 1.8 million.
Yeah.
There just seems to be no real thought on spending and into the future, but.
Well, Mr. Evans, you've been critical of everything that I've been working on, and those were board actions to move forward with this. And this is a historic park. This is the heart and soul. This was the beginning of Etna Township. That park was laid out by our forefathers as an important gathering place, and it will become more of an important gathering place. Trustee McKee's been working on movie night, and it is being coordinated with Pike Street. So I'm excited about it, and I think it's going to be a positive contribution. And I've said it before, Mr. Evans, and we've even had some testimony. And I agree that the gravel thing with the restroom and stuff, that has already been communicated, but that's a good point. You've got to, with a wheelchair or anything, you've got to have a smooth surface to get there. But as I've said before, we have a duty to make this more handicap accessible. It was improved in 1991. So you were for it at the beginning. Now that it's
Well, I was for it, again, I explained this, that it wasn't just repainting and,
It's not just
it was, the discussion was a small little, because that's what people are, and it didn't have to be large. I've been, the last time I went, go trap a dog, there was a little park, and it was a little tiny footprint that could have been done, but again, you went through no involvement with the board, came and said it has to be this because the construction drawings and,
well,
that's not proper involvement
Ms.
here.
Ms.
It's
McKee,
one-sided.
yeah,
One
Ms.
trustee.
Okay. Thanks for the support, and I appreciate the update, and I hope we're successful with the NCA. Old business, Mechanic Street reimbursement, Mr. Evans.
Yeah, I move to reimburse the owner of the property for the fence damage for $1,500 per his estimate.
Is there a second to the motion? Is there a second to the motion for further discussion? Hearing none, the motion dies.
The prosecutor said we are liable.
Well, it's not the way I read it, so.
Oh my God. We don't maintain the alley, we're supposed to maintain it.
Is there a
We get
motion?
funds for the alley, but then we
Is
don't.
there,
take care
is
of
there
it.
a motion to bring Resolution 2025-051 back to the board for discussion?
Yeah, sure, I'll move to discuss it.
I'll second that. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-051, given the fact we have a prosecutor's opinion?
So I thought, isn't that what we just voted on?
No, we brought it back onto the table because it was postponed, so is there a
Okay, yeah,
motion to-
I'll do it, because I really want to discuss this.
Of course. Politics.
So I move.
Moved. Is there a second to the motion to adopt this resolution? Is there a second? Hearing none?
Ms. McKee doesn't want her own
Resolution fails.
resolution.
Too bad,
It
Mr.
was
Evans. Follow protocol, Mr. Evans. Follow
illegal.
protocol.
It was illegal.
Motion to waive attorney-client privilege regarding prosecutor's opinion on Williams LLC easement agreement and to forward that red line version to William LLC for review. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second for discussion. I did talk to the prosecuting attorney. They have, Williams LLC is the company that's representing the gas company to possibly put a 24-inch gas line through our new park property. And to do that, they would have to have an agreement with the township. They've offered some compensation. We wanted to get a legal review on that to make sure that the township is protected and also to determine what type of possible negative impact that could have on the development of the park. And so the prosecuting attorney recommended that we only send the red line easement agreement forward to William LLC. They had some other comments in that, which I think all three trustees had. So that's my report, and I think we should move that forward to see where we stand.
So you want to forward it to them, but then what? Because there's a lot of concern in it, and also, is there representation at the siting board? Did you secure that? Because it is at the siting board.
We asked about, and it's our understanding from Williams, that's for permitting purposes and process, so. Sure.
Well, but we should have representation there because
Yes,
it
well,
involves this.
that was.
And especially because they can just use the process. They don't even have to ask us, as he indicated. So I think we should be involved at the siting board.
Well, that was part of the resolution that we sent to the prosecutor.
Right, but you're involved, you're the point person on it, so that's, you haven't set that up?
So we've already talked to the prosecutor about that, so what,
The only thing was the agreement.
do you want this sent over or not?
Yeah, but I'm asking, is there representation at the siting board so we don't neglect that and they just go ahead and do it?
Well, they should be, I don't know if there are any hearings or anything, I do not know. I don't know what the prosecuting attorney has done with that, but I know.
There is upcoming, but I'm concerned about.
When is that upcoming one?
I don't have it on me, but
So you don't know.
they've already dealt with the actual electric generation plant. That was approved up there.
Yep.
So, and the pipeline is a separate case, but that, again, I'm concerned that it's going to be properly handled because the other cases have not, Mr. Burkholder.
Well, of course you would say that. Ms. McKee, do you have anything?
No.
And do we have any concern that because of the past deeds that we can't receive any compensation?
The past deeds?
The deeds on that park property, did you not read that opinion?
Yes, I did read the opinion.
So that's what I'm talking about.
And the attorney does not have that concern now. I spoke with him, and that's why that will not be referred over to Williams. The thing that he suggested was the red line. If you had read that, you would know that. So, roll call on this,
Well, so
please.
you're having,
Go, Jackie, please.
Mr. Evans?
yes,
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
so you're
Okay,
having
item
private
B.
conversations
That
when
passes.
we all should be
That passed.
supposed to
Motion to
get
approve the ID
copies.
printers.
Item D.
Here we go again.
Motion to approve ID printer and supplies. You added this at the last moment, right, Mr. Evans?
No, I added it, I said at the last meeting it would be added. I added it it wasn't even included in the draft agenda, so I asked for it, and then it was
Where were your
added.
documents?
And I told you that it was gonna be a little bit over $1,000,
But you didn't provide the quote sheet.
and
You never.
here's the
supplied
quote.
for
You didn't
tax-
even read the resolution, and now you're complaining. I provided this, it's in diligent.
Yeah, when did you provide it?
Yesterday, I uploaded it,
Yes.
after I got all the final quotes for the other one, and recommended this, because the other ones were
You-
1,700, there was one for almost $3,000.
You were supposed to
Okay,
have
Mr.
it,
Evans.
you were supposed
So-
to have it earlier, but go ahead.
Yeah.
So what
I
do
was
you
supposed to,
got?
when you don't even provide information,
Oh, Mr.
please,
Evans,
don't
come on,
say.
move along.
So I move to purchase the IPD Smart 51D dual-side ID printer through B&H Photo. That is through their government program and an account I set up on. That also includes, that is an entire package, which includes the printer,
Yep.
reel, the webcam.
How much?
That is $1,340.78, a savings.
Is there a second?
Well, no, there's more because it's all in one because.
Well,
it
that'll
come-
come under discussion, so is there a second? I'll second it.
Well-
Discussion, go ahead. You made the motion, go ahead now,
Okay.
explain.
Well, I was gonna include all of it in the motion, but, okay.
Okay, what else?
So you got the ID, which is the printer, which contains the 100 PVC cards, everything you need to print, camera and all that. Then Uline is the hand slot punch, so you can have the lanyards. And then also the window clings. They are about, for 200 of them, they're 99, for 175.
Okay.
I figured get more. So in total, everything is around $1,535. So I would like to include in that motion up to $1,750 for the needed supplies, stickers, and I guess we'll deal with the signs separately at the township end.
Ms. McKee, do you have anything?
No, I think we should just
Roll call, please.
roll call.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you open an account with B&H?
Not a credit account, an account to get pricing.
Well, please forward that account information to the fiscal officer. Okay, next.
Then I move to install solicitor regulation road signs at our township entrances.
Is there a
We can
second?
discuss.
Is there a second?
Seriously?
I don't know what you're saying, Mr. Evans. You can
It's a
explain yourself.
motion to install a sign that says solicitor regulation in place or some sort to notify solicitors when they come in. It says, welcome to Etna Township right now, 1833. You can put a sign underneath, kind of like they do volleyball champions of whatever, 2010. We could put a little sign that says solicitors regulated or no soliciting without permit, something to that effect.
Is there a second?
I don't feel comfortable with that. I have to research that, so I'm not gonna.
Motion dies for lack of second.
This is what I mean
Moving
about
night.
just delaying.
Well, I'll make a quick comment. I think it's tacky, it's more expense, you got more signs that the road department has to maintain. We've got the regulation, if someone violates it, then call the sheriff. So, we have a lot of entrances in
Thank you,
Etna
Mr.
Township.
Burkholder.
We're moving on, that failed, Mr. Evans. Moving night update, Ms. McKee, you have the floor.
Yes, sir, thank you. Resolution to authorize fundings for the Etna Township Movie Night event and to authorize the president, vice president, and trustee and the fiscal officer to sign checks for the event for vendors outside of the meetings. The Board of Trustees of Etna Township, Licking County, Ohio, met on a regular meeting August 19, 2025. Trustee McKee, myself, as follow, whereas the Etna Township Board of Trustees seeks to support community engagement through the organization of the movie night event to benefit residents and foster community and spirit. Whereas the movie night event requires fundings for the vendor services including live music band, face painting, character appearances, trolley car services to ensure the successful and enjoyable event. Whereas the estimated cost for the movie night event include approximately $1,400 for the bowling entertainment, those are the bounce houses, the approximately $1,380 for the fun bus, that will be the trolley bus that will drive from the church to the park here so they don't walk, residents don't walk up Pike Street in the dark, and also park in front of some of the neighbors' homes. So the church has been kind enough to say we can use their parking lot down the road there. And approximately $2,200 for Mr. Game Room, which is the one that provided the movie with the big screen and the speakers as well, like as a couple years ago. And approximately $1,500 for the RT Group Band, which is offset from Sabatino. Mr. Sabatino has presented a check to the township today for $1,500 for the music, and approximately $50 for McGuire Graphics. She's the lady that actually did the graphics that will be put out on Facebook as well as around the township at different locations. And also there was an additional check that came in from Ohio Cat for $1,000 that will offset, an additional $500 for Southgate to offset.
I'll second. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, you're fine.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Is that it?
That's it.
Any further discussion or comment?
Yeah, well, I have a question of the phrase approximately. There should be a dollar amount. I mean, if there's anything, no, please, this is just basic stuff.
Go ahead.
If there's any overage, if it's within the $1,000 permitted per month by the trustees, that's fine, but to tell you approximately what, is 1,000 over approximate? Is it, we shouldn't be using approximate in resolutions. It's up to or this amount. So I would move to remove approximately from all 5 conditions.
I provided.
I had a motion.
I'll second it for discussion. Do you have any objection?
Yeah, I have actually provided the board with the actual receipts here with the, so again, we don't always have the amount precisely, just like Mr. Evans just did $1,500 for his printer, but he's asking for $1,750. So there's no difference, it's just your wording.
No,
but it's still the same thing.
No.
But again.
I'll call the question on the amendment. Roll call, please, on the amendment.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Burkholder?
No.
Ms. McKee?
No.
Amendment fails. Roll call on the main motion to adopt this.
Well, one question I have, I don't see the I don't see the insured, additionally insured. I don't
I'm going to go over that next. So just.
Well, so you're going to approve it and then say.
No, Mr. Evans, this has nothing to do with.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is just a resolution for this. The insurance is a separate document, and it's a separate motion.
Roll call on the resolution, then to go ahead and approve these.
Well, not without the insurance connected.
Again.
Mr. Evans?
No.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
And again, that's because the insurance wasn't dealt
Do
with.
you have some insurance?
I will make a motion for the township to cover the additional $500 for the insurance coverage with Accusure for 2 bounce houses. It's $250 each for the Sunday, August 31st at the movie night in High Point Park for the 2 bounce houses.
Second.
Again, the risk insurer stated that the contracts need to have additionally insured and have to have hold harmless against the township. These contracts do not. Now you want to purchase additional insurance for bounce houses, but ignore everything else. And the risk assessor is our insurer that you want to insure with. But he's saying if you're going to do that, we need to have proper contracts with these vendors, which this did not, and that is the reason I voted no. We've got to do this properly, and we've had weeks upon weeks to work on this, and
Okay, stop the commentary. Let me ask.
We
Ms. McKee,
work
go
with
ahead.
we work with the insurance company, the fiscal officer, myself, and this is what they told us to present, and this is why I presented the way I presented it.
No.
So we are in compliance.
No.
So
Roll
feel
call,
comfortable.
please.
Wait, roll call.
The insurance,
Mr. Evans?
no,
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
we
yes.
can't handle anything
Okay.
properly.
And then I would like to also make a motion for our road crew to work overtime on Sunday, August 31st, 2025, for the movie night at the High Point Park. They worked with us before. They will be able to help along with the park movie night. So I would like to make a motion for us to
Second.
pay our overtime for our road crew.
Second, discussion.
Wouldn't we just ask the road crew, as Mr. Burkholder here over all employees, you just ask them?
Well, Mr. Evans, I
And
did ask them.
what about police?
Mr. Evans, I
Do you
did
want
ask
extra
them. Well,
police?
let me say this about the police. We use the police over at the golf course because of the fireworks. Okay, so we didn't need anybody here at this park when we did the movie night 2 years ago. We did not have a police officer here. So I think we'll be fine without a police officer. And I did talk to Bubba, just so you know, and he did say that he would love to work and he would talk to his crew. Is that correct, Mr.? Yep, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes, but not necessary.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
And again, the insurance is not properly dealt with.
Well, let's double check if there's
We-
any
we
concern
work-
on
yeah.
But
security.
what do you mean
work
double
on that.
check?
New
You just voted.
business,
Yeah, we
item
work on
A, under state security, you have a proposal there for changing our monitoring on this building over to state security.
Yes.
From the previous vendor, and then state security will be over both buildings. It's $200 to come in and change that panel out. By the way, the software from our previous vendor is outdated and does not work on our new laptops. The monthly monitoring fee will be $35, so I so move.
So I'll second.
Any
And
further
with this
questions?
panel, can we remotely add access codes for those using the hall without being present? Because that's what was discussed previously in an upgrade that was needed.
I don't know specifically, but I'll be happy to check with them, but I want to get this moving and,
Well, I would
If
suggest that we do
approved.
it properly, though, to
Okay.
include a panel that can.
roll call,
do
please.
that.
Roll call.
Mr. Evans?
Yes,
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes,
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
motion passes.
So,
Item
let's
B,
go.
Warp C planner. I put this on here, I'm not asking the board to make a decision to hire a planner, but I would like to I'm going to make a motion that we engage Morpsey and find out what a planner would cost. We first have to make an application, though. It doesn't bind us to actually hiring the person, but finding out what's available.
Yeah.
We have numerous plans. We haven't had an adjunct planner since December of last year. It's greatly needed with the volume and everything coming, so that's my motion to explore this with Morpsey and then return to the board for a final decision once we have a proposal.
I'll second.
Second, discussion.
Yeah, we should be focused on bringing an in-house planner, and that's again, those minutes that I mentioned from February 20th, 2024, this board motioned to advertise for planner, and you ignored that for over 300 days.
I know.
I brought in a proposal that wouldn't cost us anything to search for an
Tell the
in-house
story.
planner, and that was blocked.
Yeah.
No,
Why aren't we trying to fulfill, instead of all these consultants and all these outside entities that aren't building our team?
Do you have any comment?
I don't,
Ms.
because I
McKee?
know that what he's talking about is 30% that he's not telling everybody. So I think we should just move on with the Morpsey.
I probably shouldn't comment, but I will. Because I've taken enough nonsense. And the fact of the matter is, it's not a good environment here. When employees have to read about themselves on the weekend, holidays,
Yes.
morning, noon, and night, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It's constant
They
attacks.
did not.
It's constant
Yes,
attacks,
they
everyone
do.
knows it. This meeting's another prime example of that. So it's not a good environment. And so I'm not inclined to hire another person. And as soon as they get crossway with a certain trustee, then they'll be leaving too. So I know that's kind of a hard stand. Do I want to build a good team here? Absolutely. But it's going to take a stable board of trustees in order to do so.
Well, I have it on the record that the 3 inspectors that we interviewed and applied for the position pulled their applications because of you, Mr. Burkholder.
I know.
And your lack of communication.
You told us that before.
No, that is what happened. And until, again, the zoning inspector under your supervision is not providing documents to myself and the BZA chair, willfully withholding those and telling us to go pound sand and not.
He didn't say that.
Not essentially, yeah.
No, he didn't.
Well, Mr.
And
Evans,
not provided. Where in this world do you work when an employee just refuses, and not only a document, but public records?
Well,
And then stand here and chastise that it has to go to a specific email?
Well-
That is not the law.
well, Mr. Evans,
What don't you get about
I
that?
have plenty, I do.
It's not just me, the BZA chair has the same
Yes.
issues with
Well,
you.
you and your running mate for trustee can
BZA chair.
criticize.
Oh, now it's political, that it's been going on.
Can criticize me all you want, but I've got numerous written complaints from the admin and from the zoning inspector regarding you and the way you treat them. So I'm gonna
Well, it's
call,
called accountability.
well, no, it's called harassment.
No, it is.
Yes.
I'm going
Accountability.
to call the question on this, and we're gonna get some things done here in Etna Township.
Yeah,
as we
3
move
years
forward.
late.
You've been here 3.5, and
I've been blocked.
What about the?
I'll bring my,
What about the facility?
you have the estimate. Why hasn't that been approved?
Oh, really? What estimate?
For the doors.
Well, that was your project
Yeah,
before you
yeah,
came here.
remember?
You want it on the agenda?
And the board didn't vote,
No.
right?
No.
I presented it, the board
You
didn't
can
vote.
gaslight all you want. Roll
And that was
call,
McKee
please.
and
Roll
Johnson.
call. Roll call.
Mr. Evans?
Yes. We'll
Mr.
go anywhere.
Burkholder?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes, thank you.
I'll be quick on Drayton Hall. Drayton Hall has requested a memorandum of understanding because they can't get their final plat until there's a guarantee from the township that we're going to build Phase 2 of Ashley River Drive,
Yes.
which leads to the, so that's where that stands. Nothing's been drafted. This board has to approve of that. There's still subdivision concerns out there. I did attend the walkthrough. And so Licking County subdivision, there's some things that still need to be taken care of there. So this will be coming back to the board, but I wanted to make the board aware of what the situation
Well,
is.
and has there been any alternate locations? Because the estimate that was received prior was, I think, 1.2 million, or
What's that?
it was quite a bit for that second phase of Ashley Drive. Can't we do it off of 40 at a much lower cost, or to an immediate parking lot and then not have that expense?
Off of 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got an easement off of 40.
We do.
Where that meat market is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so has there been any consideration that you have the entrance there, right turn only, whatever, right out, and it's right into that parking lot, and that, so you don't have the whole expense of $1.5 million just to get past those apartments
Wow.
that we already gave them the land for their retention pond that we paid for.
That estimate, that's not what I heard, so I don't know where you come up with $1.5 million.
What have you heard?
Am I supposed to?
I heard anywhere from 400,000 to 600,000. So if you have an estimate, why didn't you bring, that's why it's open for discussion. You could come up
Well,
with
I didn't
40, I
know,
suppose.
you don't put any information, you don't provide any information,
This
just
was-
like
this
Ms.
was-
McKee,
there's no-
minutes before the meeting gave this.
There's no information to provide. I'm making you aware in a public
Things
meeting.
are on this agenda.
Mr. Transparency.
If you would have
Okay.
stated what that was for, I could have prepared, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm supposed
Request
to
for
guess what the
prosecutor.
MOU's for.
There was a request for a prosecutor to represent the Etna Zoning Commission and the Board of Zoning Appeals. That will take a resolution. Because of the acrimony that takes place at this board, our zoning inspector can't even ask the prosecutor a question. So that's
And I would
unfortunate.
like to correct that record, because what they required was an email stating when it was due, why, all the information that, and there were numerous emails from Mr. Burkholder saying, just, can you deal with this? And they say, what? What do you want? What do you want? And it took email after email after email. I would send a concise thing, or you had Ms. McKee attaching the prosecutor to every email, making her think that it's attorney-client privilege when that's not how that works. That was the issue.
I don't know. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. So we'll go on to resolution
emails. You wanna release
2025-053, resolution
I
request.
move to
Resolution to
waive-
request Pike Street. We're already moved off of
Okay,
that.
I'll do that
Resolution to
motion.
request Pike Street funding from JEDZ 2. You'll have in front of you a final cost estimate. This is, JEDZ 2 has a builder's improvement account, and there's a significant amount of money in there. And I've given you, these are again, all cost estimates. So there's approximately, the cost of Pike Street is approximately $3.7 million, a little bit over. And there's also the relocation of the water and sewer lines, and that's about, it was estimated at $260,000, but it's going to be more than that. The recent most estimate then for our local share, we have monies about $3.2 million that's coming from Middle Ohio Regional Planning Commission. And so our local share is just over $1 million, approximately just a little bit under 1.1 million. So rather than taking our general fund money, in order for us to even make a request to the JEDZ 2 BIA account, we have to pass a resolution requesting it. And if they would agree to it, it's on a reimbursement basis. The reason I bring this to the board is because there's going to be a JED and JEDZ meeting this coming Friday. And so I wanted to get our request in. It's not a guarantee that they'll approve it. They'll have good discussion on it. The argument which I put in, or the support that I put in with the resolution, is that that money services really the whole industrial complex here. We have JEDZ 1, JEDZ 2. I know there's been discussion, well, why are you using JEDZ 2 money for it if it's Pike Street? But we use JEDZ 2 money for the JEDZ 1 repaving, and even some of the preservatives that we put on Heritage Drive, we went back. That was the second thing. Our former administrator's here. She remembers, she put the package together. We got somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000 reimbursement to do that asphalt, which it is the township road. So that saves us from having to take money out of the general fund. I agree with Mr. Evans. We've got a lot of roads. We got a lot of things coming up, a lot of priorities. It's going to, let me finish. It's going to take a lot of money. So anyways, I'd like to, the motion is to approve 2025-053. Is there a second for discussion?
I'll second.
Okay, go ahead.
How does Pike Street, which is not a truck route, benefit the industrial district of JEDZ 2 or any adjacent one? That doesn't make sense, but also we're taking money that we got. The road superintendent has been pushing for new equipment and trucks for years. How many estimates has he given you, Mr. Burkholder, and no action? And those trucks are like $178,000.
That's right.
That money can only be spent once. But again, I don't see how. Again, the trucks are going to, because it's not even connected to 40 directly. They're just going to go into a roundabout into the neighborhood that's behind Speedway and come out. So trucks won't go there. So how are?
Well, I'd be more than happy to explain that if you want me to.
Sure.
Well, first of all, it's going to alleviate some of the, well, first of all, there's pedestrian traffic out of the over 600 living units down there at the High Point development behind Speedway. So you have to think, or at least the argument is, I don't know if you prove it, but keeping traffic off of 310, and by the way, 310 is going to have the turn lanes coming north to get into the industrial park. That's already been identified by the Transportation Improvement District, because we're in those meetings. They've identified Refugee in 310, Mink in 40, but they've identified the major So when that construction begins, you are gonna need alternate routes. And if there's ever an accident there, which there have been, and on 70, and I personally witnessed it from this building, that alternative traffic has to come down. It has come down Pike Street. Now, we have trucks coming down Pike Street too, which I'm not happy about. But it's part of the overall transportation grid. And back to your point, as far as buying the equipment, which is much needed, and I concur, we'll have more money if we get money from the JEDZ2 BIA account. And I've gone to those meetings, and when the proposal, and I know it's been done in the past, previous boards bought stuff out of there, they bought dump trucks and everything. But since that time, the board has said, rather than buying equipment, because you use it all over the township, it makes more sense to use the money on these road improvements. I don't know if they'll approve it. I don't know if their attorney will be supportive, but I think it's a worthwhile project.
Second question, under the economic development agreements, the TID gets a percentage of the funds, and it's written in there that we have to, and I've discussed this at length with you even before you took office here, that we have to elect to have them do that. Why aren't we not doing that and instead allowing them to use that just for their general funds instead of dedicating that to Etna, which is in the contract? Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't you pushing for that?
Which money? Which money?
The JEDs. We went over this when you were running for election. You're like, yeah, we got to do it. Why aren't we doing that? Why are we letting them use it for the general funds in the TID district that is going everywhere, to Heath, to Jersey, to all this stuff? Why aren't we moving for that? Because you said you were going to do that. You haven't. And that's just another thing that we need to do. And that's money just sitting there.
Well, Mr. Evans, I'm more than willing to invite you to draft a resolution and bring it to the next meeting.
You'll put it on the agenda?
Sure.
Okay. Well, you haven't on anything.
You do the homework and bring it in, and then we can talk
with
about
that,
it. I'm not going to argue with you about that.
Can I get a copy of the JBW zoning?
You sure you can.
When? Tomorrow?
You going to come in and talk to Mr.
Tomorrow. Email.
Walker in a good
Email.
Yeah, that's fine.
Email.
That's fine.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. We'll pull it up. I'll tell you, some of those PUDs are all over the office, so we'll take a look at that one. There's two.
Well, you said you had.
Which one are you talking about? Cumberland Estates?
JBW.
Well, JBW.
It is titled JBW PMUD.
JBW now owns that roadway, which happens to be in the Cumberland Trail subdivision.
When zoning is passed, it doesn't change the zoning name or any of that because somebody else purchases that. Zoning is zoning. And the text is the text.
I understand.
So with you trying to say which one, JBW PMUD.
I understand. I know what you're talking about.
So then why are you asking?
Well, all you want to do is argue. No, let me finish. We're not talking about JBW. We're talking about this project. And in addition to it, there was over $80,000. That cost I gave you, there'll be $80,000 off of that. $80,000 when the West Licking Community Improvement Corp was dissolved, formed by a previous board, dissolved. That money went into the TID, but it was earmarked to be used for Pike Street. So there's another $80,000 there. Now, there may be a I just found out there may be a $50,000 TID. Apparently $50,000 was previously paid to the TID on this project. There may be another $50,000 due, but it may not be collected. We don't know yet. I guess the engineer might have some saying in that. So I just want the opportunity to at least go in front of the JEDZ2 board and make the request. Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
Motion passes. Fiscal officer's report. Yeah, I can.
We'd like to order lateral files in the conference room to put all those files into, so that they're up off the floor and out of the boxes.
Right.
So we'd like to be able to order at least or we're looking for a better deal at $1,000 a piece. I'd like to spend no more than $500 a piece for a 4-drawer lateral file.
So moved. Is there a second?
Well, yeah, second, but you can't just buy cheap because you want it to last. I mean, we're not a business that's going to sell in 5 years ago. So, I mean, quality, thick metal filing cabinets, and are we getting fireproof? Are we not? But my question is, instead of just moving it like we just moved all the electronic stuff just back there.
All that electronic stuff.
What? No. But my question is, why are we moving those files? Can they be destroyed? Why aren't we digitizing them so we don't need filing cabinets taking up space? Because I don't think those are probably really used. It's just for storage. So why don't we just digitize them? If they're not on the destruction schedule,
They're not on the destruction.
then digitize them, no?
Well, that.
That would be
I would-
easier said than done.
Yeah, but that means you have to buy equipment to digitize them, meaning,
No, you can bring a service in and digitize them.
Yes,
Done.
well-
Those things have been sitting 7 years before I got in here, and why don't we just why do we need more filing cabinets if are we out of space for
so.
working files?
So if we go with the digital files, like you're mentioning, that means, we have to make sure we have a server that can keep all
No, you
this
can do cloud.
information.
You could do cloud.
Yeah, I
storage
understand that, but
everybody's
there's
going
a
to.
process. I'm okay with processes. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with technology, but we have to think it through. There's a process we would have to go through versus if this is something that has to happen, quickly or immediately?
I would like to do it soon.
What's the, I mean, cost efficient, like, for example, he mentioned, digitizing it. I mean, what's the cost versus buying this, or what's the long term? All of that has to play, we can't just make rational decisions. So we need to have this discussion.
Well,
And
you're right.
that's where we are.
It is a step-by-step process, and talking to the records consultant, digitizing, which I would agree, but you gotta have a system then, a
Yes.
retrieval. So
Yes.
it's a great idea,
Yes.
but it takes logistics.
Yes, it
In the
does.
short term, I believe this is right to get them
Okay.
off the floor, even
Yeah.
though we have carpet,
Yeah.
you do get wicking moisture. Let me finish. And the other thing is that a lot of our records, and Mr. Evans and Ms. McKee are correct, not very well organized, but that's not just something you snap your finger. Now I can tell you, we've dumped a lot of records have been destroyed properly according to the retention schedule. So if there was mold in there, a lot of stuff's been cleaned up in there. But a lot of it isn't indexed either. So the second part of this is, one, get it in the cabinets, and then work as we can, or have an intern or someone come in and index it, and have a master index, so when anyone, a trustee, staff, or anyone else comes in, they know where to go. We got so many PUDs and stuff, it happens everywhere. Stuff doesn't always get filed orderly and correctly. But we are working towards cleaning up things that, I'm not blaming any board, this has probably been going on for years. Limited staff, we throw it in the back, we have it. And as far as the equipment, which the fiscal officer can speak to, is it's gotta be inventoried, and then we'll follow the procedure. So we got it out of there so that we hopefully can get some cabinets in there and begin to get all that stuff cleaned up in there, so it's a more presentable and functional conference.
Okay, but
Go ahead.
the key to organization or anything is you touch it once. You see what it is, you do it, you scan it, you file it, you do it, whatever. What you're taking is things that are grouped in boxes, which I'm assuming are of like, and then you're gonna take those out, throw them just in filing cabinets behind all each other. Like, it doesn't make sense, but there are entire companies that will come in.
Yes.
That will do that,
We
so why
understand.
aren't we
We
just
agree with you on that.
doing that? And you're never, if you say we're gonna have an intern that goes through that, I mean, the former secretary was supposed to be doing that, they didn't do it. There's.
How much
just-
are you
just
willing
do it.
to spend? Bring a
Whatever,
bring a
it's been
proposal.
ignored for over a decade.
Okay.
It needs to be done. We can't find contracts from 2 years ago on stuff. We can't find, it's an ongoing issue, and I've even heard recently that the outgoing zoning inspector had a bunch of files that apparently are just gone, that was on the computer, not backed up.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not, but we can't find, it's time to just address it instead of delay. It's not rocket, we're not,
We'll
Elon
do
Musk
some-
sending to Mars.
We'll do some work on it.
What do you mean, do some
All you
work
ever
on
do
it?
is complain.
You put yourself in charge of the records consultant.
Roll call,
and you
please.
drug it out, and you even
Roll
asked
call.
our blueprints on the retention
Fiscal
schedule.
officer,
You didn't even know
Roll call, please.
blueprints are on the retention schedule.
roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
No.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes, we gotta get things.
We'll go to item B, contract with Mr.
So I
Chris
can order
Kerr.
4 as long as they're under 5.
Yeah, let's see what, out there, I do agree, quality makes a mistake, something that's gonna hold up, so.
Let's just shift it from one container to another.
Well,
Not deal with it.
That's what we've been doing.
Make it look
Contract
pretty.
with Chris Kirby, is there a motion?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, what?
He said, oh, Lord.
Is there a motion on the floor to approve the contract?
Oh, yes, I'll second.
I'll
I'll make the motion. I'm sorry.
You make the motion,
I'll
I'll
make the
second
motion.
it.
You make
Discussion,
the motion.
Yeah, I'll make
Wanna
the
be
motion.
second?
Sorry about that.
fiscal officer,
I'd like to keep Chris Kirby working with us with the budget and everything else. He has been a very big help this past year. At no more than $5,000 for a year and a half, because we're going to the end of 2026. I
Yeah.
learned a lot from him.
and how much do we have on the current PO?
There's like $2,000.
So,
What did we put in the first, what was the beginning when we first started out?
$3,600.
3,600?
But that was up to, wasn't it 6,000 or 5,000?
yes, I believe there was an increase
So we
of,
got 2,000.
There was an increase of 40 hours. So if we met the 80 hours and we went past the 80 hours, then we got the next 40 hours will
Yeah,
be
well-
approved by the administrator.
But I believe that first authorization was for last year's budget, so I don't know how we're still using it for just ongoing stuff. I don't think that's appropriate, but, so you're saying you're gonna change this contract and limit it to 5,000? Because there's no, my concern was, this is until the end of next year,
Yep.
and it was
Correct.
unlimited hours for unlimited activities at $45 an hour to train you, but I thought that's what he was doing last year. But what I saw was he was doing the work, just forwarding to you and then forwarding to us. Shouldn't that have trained you? Because I understand the prior fiscal officer, I think that was $3,600, but she wasn't provided any transition by the outgoing fiscal officer. A fraudulent
Mr. Evans.
certificate, no, please,
let him
listen.
finish.
Fraudulent certificate of transition, and just books a mess. You know, fine, okay, you couldn't do a budget on your own last year, okay, he was supposed to teach you. Shouldn't we be fine now, or is it, you're gonna need ongoing assistance to do basic stuff?
Okay, I'll, Ms.
That's a
McKee,
question.
Do you have anything? It's a question, and I agree, it's gotta be limited in scope. Ms. McKee, do you have any
No, I
comments?
just was trying to figure out the amount that's sitting in that, and how much more you're gonna need to take you out to, because I don't know how long.
So we're gonna cancel the previous PO, and
Just
then
come
this
up
will
with a
be
fresh
just
new
for
one.
5,000, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'll speak to this because I was the one that initiated getting Mr. Kirby on board last year. Transitions, UAN is a foreign language, which I said, it takes a while to learn. We want to be in compliance. We can't talk about our pre-audit. Every transition's tough. Mr. Evans has some good points that about the previous fiscal officer and the lack of transition there. But when Mr. Kirby was here, we got the budget done last year with Susan Bedsole. He saved us $49,000 that we would have gotten clawed back on the ARPA money, because he said you gotta appropriate that. That paid for itself.
Use it up.
There's a lot of things. There are people I've been out working at this for 10 years and still miss stuff when it comes to UAN. And I believe this entire board is dedicated to having the books right, doing it right, getting the budget right. And Mr. Evans talks about a 5-year budget. Yeah, I agree. That's one of the recommendations, 5-year capital improvement plan. So there's a lot to do here, and I've sat in with Mr. Kirby and the fiscal officer, and I've seen the value in it. At $45 an hour, and so I read on Facebook, well, is this just for training? It's for both. It's for training and to assist and to get to work on this budget. A budget really is a 12-month, every month of the year you work on the budget. You got to get the capital improvements. So there's a lot of information collecting. He's got a tremendous amount of experience, and he was recommended by the state of Ohio. He works with their, I guess you call traveling or visiting a fiscal officer. So when we talk about doing things right, we're talking about limiting it to 5,000, because there is a lot of improvement that needs to take place here. I'm committed to transparency. Mr. Evans is. I know Ms. McKee is when it comes to the books. So you hire consultants. That's the way you get things done. So I'll be supportive. That's my view.
Which somehow
Limited to 5,000 though.
Yeah, but somehow strong. But eventually, you gotta do it on your own. Ms. Coutinho is paid $10,000 more than we are. Yes, $35,000 a year to $25,000
I
a
do not
year.
get $35,000 a year.
That at 34.98 something. It is 35,000 if you look at the chart, but at some point it's you got to cut the cord. And again, you mentioned that you brought him in, but that was when the former fiscal officer you had asked to come in and help Jackie, because again she was still helping Jackie.
No, she wasn't.
That she said no.
No, she wasn't. No,
She wasn't.
you can spend that top all you want,
No,
but
no,
that's
no.
not going to run across the floor with me, because I
Well,
know better.
no.
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to justify.
Why did you ask her to come in and help again?
I didn't ask her. I said it would be a paid position.
No.
Yeah, see, you
Okay.
got your story wrong again. Once again.
No.
So,
Okay.
roll call, but it will be limited to 5,000 in the contract.
Mr. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Burkholder,
Yes.
Ms. McKee.
Yes,
And
all
motion
of that, and
passes.
he still said yes. So that makes no sense to me.
Okay.
Because I'm reasonable, and
No,
to
it's not
propose an unending, no limit
Hey.
contract,
Wait,
that
wait.
was just wrong.
I
You're
agree.
supposed to argue.
We agree with you, and that's why we rated it.
But, I mean, one of the things that I do think has to be addressed is because Jackie needs to spend more time on the fiscal books than answering the calls and answering, because that's why we need staff. So,
I answer maybe 3 calls a week.
It's not,
no, that's,
move
Yeah.
to,
no.
move to approve resolution
We need to ensure our employees, we need, to
2025-052. Is there a second to my motion? Is there a
thanks for
second?
not
I'll
threatening.
second.
Hey, out of order. Come on, let's get through this.
I do more work in my home office than anybody here.
2025-052. Well, it's not showing up. I'll second that.
Yes, I did.
Ms. Coutinho, would you like to, any discussion?
Are we doing the purchase orders?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, I thought we were changing the IT company again for no reason, going to a higher cost one. Why is there a $4,000 PO for our existing one?
Didn't have enough money in there because we only budgeted the POs for 6 months. And now we have July and August, so we had to up it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Burkholder,
Yes.
Ms. McKee.
Yes.
Is there a motion to ratify the payment of the bills as shown on the payment listing?
So moved.
Second.
Has anybody reviewed these?
Yes. Did you?
You guys have any comments?
Yeah, I fixed it.
Because again, there's a duplication which shows
She
false
fixed it.
I
amount.
fixed
She
it.
fixed it.
I saw it, I fixed it.
Well, why'd you send it out without it being fixed? And you did not
Mr.
send.
Evans,
Caught it late.
Oh, why-
Let me
Why
explain.
have you not
Explain.
provided me with a copy?
Let her explain.
I did. I sent a new copy out.
No, you didn't. When? A minute before the meeting?
No, hell, no.
Because the copy I have
Wait a minute. Hang
Go
on.
ahead.
has another
Who
duplicate.
motioned the
Motion, I second.
for the pay, for the
Yes.
purchase orders?
Yeah, we're on the
I know, but.
Payments.
Gary Burkholder, Mark Evans.
No, I didn't motion on purchase orders. I don't think we should be getting from the audience because they did it.
Okay, just give Ms.
Okay.
Coutinho a minute.
Okay, just calm down.
Yeah.
They were already into the POs.
That's right. Try to keep things moving.
Right, well,
All
I
right.
did not motion or second the PO.
I understand.
Did you pass the payment?
No. Mr. Evans had questions and comments.
Well, yeah, there wasn't, what was forwarded to me is the one that contained the error. There was only one that was forwarded at 1:21 yesterday PM.
And it had a holly in it.
Had two hollies.
Yes, now it only has one. What
Wait.
happens when you export this from UAN, it takes each and every one, whatever the account number is, and puts it in. So if you got two account numbers on one payroll, it puts them both in on the payment.
So that, how do amounts get reversed? Because you've had me having your pay and you having my pay previously if it's an export. But again, you did not send a corrected payment list. So what the board would be acting on is this one. And that's again, having correct information provided to the board, and it's not even uploaded to the diligence so the public can see.
I do not know how to upload the diligence.
Holly does,
Yeah, and Holly was out for that.
okay? I do, ask me to.
When did you send that second one?
Because I only seen one, I did a whole search and there was just one.
Move to amend, was that the only correction?
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Move to amend
But
the
it-
one presented to remove
The duplicate of Holly
That is
Colombo.
you guys.
the Holly
I
Colombo
thought you sent the new one, that's why.
pay. Is there a second to the
I'll
amendment? Second. No discussion, roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes,
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
Roll call on the main motion to approve the payment listing. It's already moved. Just
Oh, sorry.
roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
yes.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes,
Ms. McKee? Yes. Okay, couple things.
go ahead.
I have sent you guys the distribution summary for the JED.
Yes.
JED, the JEDD.
Mhm.
And we got a check for 140-some thousand
Mhm.
at the end of the month.
That was for JED 1?
No, all of them. I sent the whole packet. So I sent JED 1, JED 2, JED 3, JED 4, JED 7. It's as, so for all three of them, or all five of them, sorry, it was $147,000 that we received. Our bank rec, at the end of the month is 10,000, or 10,200,000, what?
What?
Wait a minute, sorry.
10 million.
$10 million. We had receipts of 208,000 and payments of 264 last month. I would like to transfer $1 million to the MMA account because we have $1.7 million in the regular account. So in order to get the 4.25%, I want to transfer the $1 million so that we only keep like 700 to 500,000 in that general account. Then we can give 4.25% in that MMA account. They won't give us the 4.25 on the general account, but they will on the MMA. So I'd like to put, for someone to make a motion that we only keep 500 to 700,000 in the general account at a time.
Well,
But
Go ahead.
my question on that is it really depends on what expenses we have. We have, like I said, we just had the engineer, so if we motion to only limit that, that's gonna limit you to never exceed that. And when we have $1 million paving contract, you're not gonna be able to pay it, right?
Well, we'll move it back.
Well, but why would we restrict that? But my second thing is, we've talked about this a couple times, anytime we're moving funds, it should be written with account number to account number, so it's tracked. This verbal stuff, and especially not even being presented to the board, there's no record. If it was in diligent, that's another reason to use diligent. It is already in the record, and you can search it if there's a question in the future, and why aren't we doing that?
So the way we're doing it with the STAR account.
Do you have any comment, Ms. McKee? Do you have any comment?
The MMA account is a little bit different than the STAR account.
Yeah, it's all Park National Bank.
Oh, okay.
So we have 3 Park National Bank accounts.
It's money market account.
Right, the money market account, it's the HRA account, and it's the regular general account. The general account's where all the money goes into. The MMA's where we make 4.25%.
The STAR account.
That's like the STAR account.
Yeah.
We have like $5 million in there, so if we put another $1 million in there, we've got 6. We've been making 4.25%. Even if we, in 20 days, we take $1 million out and put it back into the general fund to write the check, at least we made 4.25% on that $1 million for instead of 2%.
Well, I'm going to ask that I do agree with Mr. Evans. That should be from account to account. There needs to be documentation. And then we need to make sure we get the statement so we can see exactly. The trustee board as a whole needs to know what's in STAR, what's in MMA, what's in the general checking account. More than happy to work with you, but I concur there needs to be a memo, needs to be prepared ahead of time, not to be bureaucratic, but so that there's documentation where it's going. It's just another checks and balances and oversight.
I agree.
So if you want to bring that to the next meeting, is there anything you'd like to add to that, Mr. Evans?
No, we've discussed it before. I just think we need to start tracking.
I concur. I wanted to get that in tonight. I concur. I had to get at least one of those in, and I did.
What's he talking about?
Okay, anything else from the fiscal officer?
No.
Public comments, 2 minutes. Who'd like to go first?
Me.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Phyllis Bundy, 10254 Tollgate Road Southwest. I just have one thing to say.
Sure.
When a sitting trustee infers that a person running for trustee, and that person is not here, I think it's in really poor taste. It was done tonight, and I think it's just beneath a trustee to do that. I mean, why would you infer that a trustee, a sitting trustee, and a running trustee are actually mates? This was said tonight.
I know.
Okay. It's just totally beneath you. I like all of you. You're all fine, and you all have your own opinions. But to say something like that is just totally beneath you. So please try me. I know everybody comes in here and we all say, oh, you know, we don't like what you're doing with this one and that one. Sure. I know that. But we are the community.
Yep.
But you're supposed to be representing us. So try not to get to that level again. It's just beneath.
I appreciate your comment, and I'll be honest. I get frustrated too when I have to read the nonsense on Facebook, and when I come in here and I'm defending staff as well. So that comment was probably out of place, but I see the emails that come in, I see the way things are twisted about the staff, and so I'm not only going to stand up for the staff, I'm going to stand up for the residents that take a constant beating. Your point's well taken, I appreciate it, I agree. But it's unfortunate that we have this back and forth. But when you have to be here 18 months and you hear this constant accusations, many of them false, can we all do better? Absolutely. But when you read what's being said on Facebook and the people, and I do have the complaints from the staff against a particular trustee, and I disagree with some of the presentations, some of the statements that were made here tonight. So unfortunately, I do see some of those things, and it gets frustrating, but I appreciate your comments well taken.
I do understand the frustration.
But
so.
your comments well taken.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine, I got it.
Hi, Raver, 9305 Cement Road. I apologize for my bravado when I was first speaking. I would like for you guys, please, before you approve any more abatements, any more TIFs, any more housing developments, any more warehouses, please get the comprehensive zoning thing done so you can have the Ohio Department of Transportation come in, and before you build all these things and we're trying to fix all this stuff that's wrong, the traffic, the lights, the sidewalks, the lack of sidewalks, whatever, I would like for that to please be done first. Quit putting the cart before the horse. You're not getting anywhere. And second of all, I don't know what Facebook page you're talking about, but there's two different ones, and there's two different kinds of posts on that. And one is totally out of control, and one is just regular citizens trying to say things. I mentioned the solar panels on top of the buildings, the warehouses that are being built, and I got crucified over it because landowners should be able to do what they want. Well, I'm sorry, but my grandkids are going to need food someday, and if we don't have any farm fields left, what's going to feed them? Bill Gates and his bugs? So that's all I'm asking. I'm trying to be civil. I watch all of this. None of you are free from sin up here. None of you. And I'm not either. So we all need to remember that.
Thank you. Who's next? Anyone else?
John Hanson, Ridgewood Drive. I thought Rachel did a really good job reading Mark's remarks. So
They were not my remarks. Quit lying.
Let it go ahead.
You can talk,
But here's what
more lies from Hanson.
Here's what I really wanted to say. Mark, every time you say you're blocked, they won't do this with me, you're just confirming that you don't have the skills to be a trustee and work with people. You apparently can't work with anybody, and you've proven that over 4 years. You have 7 people exited the township. Every one of them I've talked to said it was because of Mark Evans. So it's just, you can deny that, but you set up trap emails and then, 10 minutes later, you're not responding to me, that's insubordinate. You could come in, like Gary said, talk to somebody, but you'd have to be human. That's the thing that's missing here. You're all political, all campaign, 24/7 for 3 years, 8.5 months right now. So I just, you've got a lot of skills, but you spend them all on hate and, vindictiveness. And I don't know if you've ever even built a building, but you need to get along with people. I know you're on the inspector side, and that's, goes better with your personality.
Construction too.
Well, what construction?
Commercial, residential.
30 seconds.
I seen your website with the stock pictures, but I gotta tell you,
Those
should.
are my pictures.
Go ahead, Mr. Hanson.
like the real office at 1211 High Street. But anyway, you just think about coming in and getting along with people. You know, I've never heard you say anything positive about anybody that works in this building. And then, like the soldiers in Mogadishu, you drag the dead bodies for 4 years. You know, you just keep going. So, you know, the impact that your being a trustee has made is just devastating. There's 7 families affected. You know, it's Etna victims.
Time.
Etna is paying a toxicity tax.
Time.
The Evans tax.
Time. Anyone else?
I'll speak again because I cannot rely on them letting me speak under trustee comments. What's interesting when Mr. Hanson says that, I can't work with anybody. I can work with the road crew pretty well. We got that contract that kept employees here that were actually looking elsewhere.
They're union.
And dealt with that. On the fire board, there were 7 members with 100 employees. What's Mr. Hanson doing going back into employee safe area?
Continue, Mr. Evans.
So it's a lot of lies and bloviating from Mr. Hanson, who's politically motivated, that was paying people to place signs for a trustee that wanted to double the tax diversion away from the schools and fire. But this is nonsense. And again, he makes a claim that I wrote what Rachel Zlanzi said. No, if you do the public records request, but emails between her and Mr. Burkholder, it's been an ongoing issue. I'm speaking, please. An ongoing issue of Mr. Burkholder ignoring that, and even the attorney, Carly, is involved, and Mr. Burkholder's just lying about it, not providing documents, not providing supervision. When we have a zoning inspector that doesn't even enforce the zoning and approves things contrary to zoning, but why wouldn't you support the Board of Zoning Appeals chair instead of having to control it? There's this narrative that I like to micromanage. No, I just provide proper oversight and supervision. And it's interesting that none of the employees left until Mr. Burkholder came in, because they actually thought there was going to be accountability, but they could have stayed because there is zero accountability. We've got a Board of Zoning Commission chair that didn't follow ORC for over a year on zoning changes. Mr. Burkholder promised to get that zoning text to me last meeting. He lied. He can't follow through anything, and I hear it time and time again from our attorneys, our vendors, that they can't wait for a change. They can't wait for an administrator, because dealing with you, sir, is impossible, because we even had a prosecutor withdraw from a case because you wouldn't respond to him. This is a you issue, and McKee is supporting it. And you made it political tonight, attacking Ms. Laney, when you know exactly the issues that she's been having. They've had to table things because Ted doesn't know and didn't provide stuff, didn't do the proper checks, and when they do a checklist, you push back on it. She's trying to provide proper administration, and you can't stand it. That's what's ridiculous.
Actually, they're trying to remove her as the chair of the board, but you got your people that you put on there, so you guys all stick together, so I understand that.
Okay, anybody else? Oh, one more, or maybe 2 more, I don't know.
Alicia Zacher, 79 Trail East. You know, some of the things that we sit here and listen to, I mean, it's just excruciating. And some of us are unable to control ourselves because it's so disgusting. I agree with a lot of the things that 2 of the residents that sat up here and spoke about. And, you know, for transparency purposes, I do think that, you know, we all have our passions and our points. You are pushing for Rachel. You are pushing for Rachel. We all know it. We've all seen it. Whatever. You want another person up here to help you. And it's annoying to see someone who doesn't put their hand to the flag on their heart. And respect the flag. That's how I feel when you come into this township. When you want to represent this township, you represent it because you come in here and we say our prayers and we recognize our flag. You can't do that. How
But
in
then-
God's name would they want to lead us?
But then
The
what's your
point I'm
conduct?
making is, I don't need you to interrupt me. May I have my time back, please?
Yes.
Thank you. The point I'm making here is, you want to shove down yet another person that you feel can help you get promoted. That's why this voting is so critical in this township, and why we need people that aren't just popping in and popping out and doing this and doing that. We want people committed, people that know what they're talking about, not some AI crap. I'm talking about you. I could play a video, and maybe I will next time, of you praying outside these doors to select Mr. Burkholder. That was you saying that. And you have been the one trying to push people. You are the problem. That's why it's so important that this township recognize voting matters. I take accountability for my remarks that I've said, but I am very passionate about that flag. And if you can't put your hand to your heart, then you shouldn't be representing this township.
Then what about
Period.
Ms. McKee
It
hanging it
really
upside down?
doesn't matter what you say, sir. It's your agenda.
Hang it upside down. So that's-
Go ahead.
Doesn't even matter. We all are sitting here at
But you're
8:30.
acting
We're all here at
contrary.
8:30.
30 seconds.
And we're pissed because all we listen to you do is run your mouth and argue over files. It's filing cabinets and you want to digitize and this and that. Approve it, man, or not approve it. It's you. You're the problem. And I'm asking this board, and I thank this board for being as patient as they are, but this guy here, he's got to go.
I'm the problem, yet I'm one of
Time.
3 and I'm blocked, and that's been like that under Burkholder and McKee.
Okay, Burkholder and McKee.
Yeah.
Theo Young, 9167 Taylor Road.
Right.
I just wanted to let everybody know we have a driveway. April the 4th, we did not have a driveway, and now we have a driveway. We still have a lot of reclamation. They had to drop our driveway about a foot, so that changes things. I do have to actually say thank you to Mr. Evans. He did reach out to the city of Brownsburg and able for us to be able to negotiate that situation, because we weren't understanding that Reynoldsburg had to put a change order in for the construction. So I wanted to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Private. And by the way, Alicia, I'm not angry, I'm really hungry though. And Gary, I wanted to ask, we talked about the annexation agreement. I've had 2 people approach me that are we trying to get out of the annexation agreement? And then the other question is you said you were going to talk to the prosecutor. Wondered if there was any front on that. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is did you find the piece of legislation that annexation agreement is attached to that originated from Etna?
I did not find that legislation yet.
Okay.
So is that not with the prosecutor yet?
But when you say that I'm trying to get out of it,
Oh no, I didn't say that. I had 2 people ask me that, and I just thought it was an odd conversation.
Is the board trying to get out of the annexation agreement?
I just thought I'd relay what somebody asked me, and
No,
I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, well, no. They can, the other trustees can speak for themselves.
I know we're not abiding by it. We're supposed to have a meeting with Reynoldsburg by every March. We haven't done that. I know Reynoldsburg wants to get out of it so they can just annex. I've been pushing for it. They attempted to encourage a builder outside the annexation agreement a couple years ago and I pushed the board to address it. They refused to allow it, but due to public pressure, they backed off. Yeah, I think it's a lot of concern, but again, it should have already gone to the prosecutor. I don't know why the delay. They can handle quite a bit of stuff, and if they get free time, they can handle it. So they need to get it so they can address it. But that is one very important thing, because if we lose that, they're going to go on and on. Now, it's not perfect. It should have been better, but we don't have any leverage now to change it to conform boundaries, to limit density. Those are the things that really, because right now Lakeland Hills is very concerned about the innovation district that they have zoned north of them. And
Yeah, that's where those comments are coming from.
They want to improve Summit Road for that traffic.
So, Gary, let me understand. So the annexation agreement is part of a larger piece of legislation or something that came from Reynolds, or from Etna Township, but we're not able to find that document.
I'm not aware of that. Mr. Evans, do you know? I mean, you.
Yeah, as part of the JED agreement, the annexation agreement is, and there's, at that time, I'm with the JED, there's CRAs and stuff like that, but.
Where's that?
That is what, I don't know, which one was it? Oh, Bill Vance was supposed to be collecting all those with Ms. McKee. That never happened. So I don't know where basic files are, and we should, as a board, be able to access any of those. And that's where I believe we need to bring a company in that specializes in documents, in scanning, in formatting, and filing, build a system, because we're not even using SharePoint Drive to share documents. There's different versions. So I am concerned that we don't have, and one of the things that a lot of the JED agreements, when I was, as a resident, would request them, was given the original one, but there were multiple amendments, and I still haven't seen those.
Well, that's what I wanted to be able to just bring to light to the board, is because before I asked to be appointed to that board, I did do quite a bit of research to try to find those documents, and that's when
Your time's expired.
You guys talked through it.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, anyways, Ms. Bleslow said that they didn't have a copy.
Anyone else? Trustee comments? Ms. McKee, you have anything? Announcements, trustee comments?
Actually, I'm just going to make sure that the flyer gets out for the movie night with the music live, with about at least 6 to 7 food trucks, maybe a variety, not just ice cream, but they'll have pizza, chicken wings, some different variety of foods. Hope that people come out. It's the holiday weekend, so come out and enjoy yourself with your family without political things, but just have fun.
Mr. Evans?
Well, I just make a point with the food trucks. That was another thing the risk assessor said that needs to be dealt with the
Mark, why don't you quit stop being such a...
Because you didn't mention food trucks before, so I'm mentioning it now. This is important for the business of the township. But I would like to let everybody know again, the fourth Saturday of every month, hold a resident forum. It's this August 23rd, Saturday from 9 to 11. I know some are trying to stop that. Apparently they reported me to the auditor for fraud or something like that. I kind of find that interesting. It kind of goes along with Ms. McKee's attempt to block political speech at the movie night, where she 2 years prior actually invited judges to campaign and hand out literature.
You're out of order.
I am not
always out of order.
I am not out of order.
Normal behavior.
Again, but if everybody will go look at the timeline over there for Tollgate and Palmer, it was ignored for 2 years, and all those accidents could have been prevented. And I talked to those people in those accidents. They said they could not see because of the bushes, and they tried to get out, and they weren't successful. But yet again, it was allowed, and that was against zoning. It was simple. You look at it, it's against zoning, it's got to be removed to 12 inches, but instead, former administrator let them go to 3 foot, and we got to start doing things right as people's lives, and saying that we're moving on after 2 years is getting a little bit of ridiculous.
Time, Mr. Evans. I'll take a few. I want to address a few comments here. First of all, wish I didn't have to say things that might appear negative. There are people that complain, and then there are people that solve problems and do things. So, Mr. Evans, you keep saying you were blocked. You've been here 3.5 years. I'll tell you about that situation. Yeah, I got with the zoning inspector, found out the engineer, some other people said, well, no, they're fine. They're not fine. Line of sight is correct. We researched it. So Mr. Evans, put out false information. Well, the property owner took those bushes down. Not true. We got a hold of the property owner. He testified here or made comments. He was very cooperative. we worked, because they were in the right of way, we worked with the road department. The zoning inspector went out there as well. We not only got him off of Tollgate and Palmer, we went further south where Palmer comes out from the east, and we notified, the zoning inspector went out there and notified, along with the road superintendent, and notified there was a big bush there and a white picket fence. We got those down as well too. So I'm sorry it takes so long.
Did we do that work?
I'm sorry, no, they did it.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, well, it's in the right of way. I'm sorry.
It's outside the right of way,
I'm
but in the
so-
triangle.
That's right. It's a zoning issue. So anyway, well, some of them are in the right of way, Mr. Evans. You don't even know about the pine. Let me finish. You didn't get it done for 3.5 years, okay? But you continue to accuse and then you politicize it. That's the politicization of the thing.
No, that's reality.
Let me finish. The other thing I want to address, and I think some citizens have had some good points. As far as solar, Etna Township is an exclusionary zone when it comes to industrial solar. Now, I don't know if that would mean you couldn't put it on the top. I also want to talk about the fact of these TIFs and abatements. I've not voted for any abatements here. They go through the county. Those abatements were done by previous boards. And as far as the TIFs, we've not been supportive of any TIFs. So when one trustee puts out on Facebook, I'm the only one, he's not. He's not the only one. I ran on the fact that we're overdeveloped when it comes to warehouses. And I agree with the transportation. But some of those TIFs aren't even implemented yet. And some of the JEDSIs are contributing to the schools. So I don't disagree with Mr. Evans that some of those previous policies do take monies away, but there is money flowing to the schools. They do. JEDSI 1's a prime example, JEDSI 2. So I think we need to have the entire, well, you can portray it that way, not necessarily true, but just get the right information out there, because a lot of people like to twist it and blame this board, and some of those previous policies I don't agree with. So is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Burkholder?
Yes.
Ms. McKee?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
And I've got proof of everything I said. You can groan and everything. I do. Ignored by Burkholder and McKee for 2 years. People got hurt.
You're just a sore loser.
No, you just can't get anything done. What's your major